Good job by Ferland the Magician.
Great kick by
taken
Kiwi.
away by Jakes. Portland's had 2 shots on goal in this power play. Should never happen. LeBrun up the left side to Barnes. He tried to chip it in. Great defensive play by Byron Defoe. Barnes with it now. We have a whistle. Penalty will go against Kwiatkowski
for high sticking.
And that will end the power play as the Americans go 0 for 1. Kwiatkowski for the high stick.
Boy, Sean LeBrun made a beautiful pass into the slot there to Stu Barnes. Stu Barnes did a little chip, and Defoe right there to make an excellent save. Shuts the door on Stu Barnes.
Great job by Byron Defoe. Defoe with a 4.68 goals against average. Ferland has his just under 4 now. 3.82, I believe, if I remember correctly. And Ferland has played, I believe, 9 straight games now since Kolzig was injured. Now it's 4-on-4 for 6 seconds, and then Portland will have their first power play of the night as the face-off is won by the Winterhawks. Back behind the net goes Bayafor. Chad Bayafor. He'll start the line rush for Portland. Bayafor, bring it up, feeds a pass right side to Dennis Holland. Here's the guy you got to watch for in Portland. Bad pass from Holland to Bayafor, back up behind the blue line. Now the power play is on for Portland. They get it across the blue line. Americans chip it back into the neutral ice area. Puck slides down toward the Americans' goal. Shane Cole is there, and he'll air it right down in front of the goal. Defoe had to come up and play that one on a short hop, sort of like a shortstop. That could have been trouble, but he managed to get down in front of it. As McNutt digs for it along behind the Portland net. McNutt with it to the right of the Winterhawks net. Now Thudium takes it off his stick and leaves it behind for teammate Terry Black. Black with it. Portland Winterhawks in red. They feed a pass left to Holland. Dennis Holland skating across center ice, across the blue line. Starts in from the right side. Center, scores! He centered it to Calvin Thudium, and Thudium got it in for the Portland Winterhawks.
Calvin Thudium taking a shot on Frank Ferland's stick side at about 20 feet out. Just pasted it right by Frank Ferland there.
No defense to speak of on that play.
Like a sieve.
The Winterhawks allowed to walk right in. That might as well have been a 2-on-1 because the Americans had one defender back and he wasn't even very much into play. And the Americans, Tony, do not appear to be getting the big hits early like they got last night against Lethbridge.
That's right.
Face-off won by Portland. We have a whistle.
A penalty, it looks like.
Penalty coming up to Kutowicz. Slashing is the call.
Number 18.
Oh, I take that back. It is Portland. It is Fleetwood drawing the penalty. The offended party was Kutowicz. And
Devin Dirkson's also going to sit down for 2 minutes.
Well, that'll be offsetting penalties at 4:47 of the period. Both Slashing, Dirksen. So they...
You know, this is really unusual for Portland to come out and have 2 penalties right in a row. They're the second lowest in the WHL in penalty minutes, only averaging 33.5 penalty minutes a game.
Portland 1 for 1 on power plays. The Americans 0 for 1. And we're back both teams to full strength. Because when there are concurrent penalties, there's both teams are allowed to substitute. Puck shot in front of the net. Ferland saves it out. Shoots it out to the blue line where Maiden stops it. Puck's loose along the boards. Dug out by Delcourt. Now back to the blue line. The Winterhawks will lose it back into neutral ice. Back for it now is Mitchell. Mitchell dumping it into the Tri-Cities end. Left of the goal. Back for it is Murray Duval. Duval sweeps it along the boards. Duval pokes at it. Now the Americans have it. Headman pass intended for Malone. He couldn't get back in time. Malone brings it across the blue line for the Americans to Robertson. Robertson tried to center it. Puck shot back in the air. Great save by Defoe. Now it's shot back into neutral ice into the Tri-Cities end. Back for it is Duval. Murray Duval wheeling back behind his own net, and icing will be the call against the Tri-City Americans. On the icing call, the puck coming from behind the red line or in the Americans' offensive zone, crossing the red center line, the Americans' blue line, and the Americans' goal line, and then touched by a Winterhawk, makes it icing.
You know, this is a great opportunity tonight. Troy Mick, number 22, has 64 points, and he is sitting out with an injury for the Portland Winterhawks. Water on the knee. That's a big break for the Americans.
only if they can capitalize on it, as the face-off was stopped immediately by the linesman. Didn't like the way the puck hit the ice, and we'll try it again. It's Barnes against Calvin Thudium. Thudium from Red Deer, Alberta. And the Americans win the draw. Schustenka shooting it into the slot. Barnes had to deflect off his skate. Goes to the left of the net. Thudium with it. Calvin Thudium shoots a pass ahead. Broken up by Jakes. Jakes back to Rennie. And the Roondog wheels around through his own end. Gets it to Barnes. Barnes tried to make a shot and is checked off of it by Bayafour. Puck goes into the corner. Big hit there by LeBrun. Puck taken off LeBrun's stick. Loose in the neutral zone. Rennie leaving it behind for LeBrun. LeBrun tried to lead Rennie. Portland whacking it back of the blue line. Across the blue line goes Jakes, and we'll have an offside as Jakes caught Barnes, I believe, across the blue line, and Jakes got it into the zone with the man still in there.
You know, just to explain how valuable Troy Mick is, Dennis Holland and Troy Mick have combined for 54 of Portland's 170 goals so far this season. That's 32% of their entire team total.
1-0 Portland leading the Tri-City Americans. Thudium from Holland, and it is Dennis Holland taking the draw against Barnes. Holland wins the draw. Portland with it. Mitchell shooting it into the Tri-City's end. Furlan will poke it out into the corner. Centered! Ooh, a big shot there taken by Roy Mitchell as he raced in on Furlan. But once in Mitchell was Terry Black, and it's shot back into the Portland end. Back for it in neutral ice. Puck's loose. Here comes Holland. Holland 2-on-1. Holland up the right side. Holland. Furlan comes out. He shoots and scores. Dennis Holland taking it right in on Frank Furlan. He made a great move to the left. Made Furlan make his move.
Made him commit.
And then beat him to the right side. Holland on a clean breakaway at 5:36 of the period.
That's what a great goal scorer will do. They'll take that goalie and put him in every which way but the right place and put the puck right behind him. And that's exactly what he did.
I give you, that was a beautiful move by Dennis Holland.
And look at his goals he's got this year. That's his 31st goal of the season.
Well, one thing about an interesting thing about it is that the Americans are not playing defense.
No, they're not. Not right now, they're not.
They may start, but so far it hasn't happened. As the puck shot into the Tri-Cities end, Schustenka with it. Dan Schustenka, headman pass for Barnes. Along the boards, Barnes races in after it, evades a big hit, tied up there. Barnes kicking it into the slot for Rennie. Rennie taken down from behind by Graham. Rennie goes headfirst into the boards there, and that's where play will stop as Jamie Graham just riding Steve Rennie right into the boards. Face-off will come to the left of the Portland net as you look on from center ice. The right-hand side, or stick side, of goalie Byron Defoe.
Holland keeps a streak alive now. He's now scored points in 9 consecutive games.
Barnes against Maiden on the face-off. Americans in white and gold and black. Barnes winning the draw to LeBrun. Bad pass, LeBrun to Jakes. Jakes had to hustle to save it. Back into the Tri-Cities end, or the Portland end, but the Winterhawks have it. Out into the neutral zone, it goes to Maiden. Maiden flips the pass right to Graham. Play broken up by the Americans. Rennie getting it on the right side to Barnes. Here comes Barnes, 3-on-2. Barnes tried to slide it into the slot, couldn't do it. Shot back along the blue line. Here comes Portland, Maiden. Scott Maiden, 2-on-3. Maiden from the left. Taken out of the play, just upended, and a penalty coming on Schustenka as the Americans committing a another big giveaway is what boiled down to.
That's what it was. He tried to play defense on him, got his stick wrapped around him and hooked him, brought him down, and Dan Schustenka is going to sit for a couple minutes, and this is what takes the wind right out of the sails. Frank Furlan hates this more than anything.
Well, it makes the goalie, not only makes the goalie work, but he doesn't get much help. Penalty coming at 6:28 of the period.
You know, the intensity that they came out with, like Coach John Albert mentioned, like they came out with last night, is not here tonight. They're a little bit flat, and they've got to pick that up against this very powerful Portland team, because if you make mistakes, you pay for them against this team.
I wonder if maybe Oliver should order their newspaper subscription suspended. It's Holland against Kwiatkowski, the face-off to the right of the net. Furlan's right, your left as you look on from center ice. Now Kwiatkowski asked to leave, and in goes Rick Fry. Fry wins the draw. Puck comes out to Rob Krause, and Krause flips it down into the Portland end. Back behind the net goes Roy Mitchell. Mitchell for the Winterhawks. They're on their power play, the second of the night. Around behind the net comes Mitchell. Mitchell bringing it up. Feeds a pass left to Holland. Holland dumping it into the corner. Winterhawks race in after it as Hamish Black goes into the corner along with Terry Black. Black around behind the net. Terry Black with it. Winterhawks set the power play. Dennis Holland camped on the left side of the net. Out front it comes to Mitchell. Mitchell to the wing. They get it down to Holland. Backhands it. And poking at it is Hamish Black, and it's knocked away by Furlan. Back into neutral ice. Good defensive play by Furlan and Krause that time. This time Jake steals the puck away. Shot into the Portland end. You can ice the puck when you're a man down, and the Americans do just that. Now they pass shot out to the blue line to Hamish Black. McNutt all over him. Hamish Black getting it ahead to Terry Black now. Back to Hamish Black. Jamie Hamish Black tries to split the defense. Can't do it. Jakes to Delcourt. Here comes Delcourt. 2-on-2 with McNutt. Delcourt wheels around into the corner. Taken into the boards hard by Biofor. But McNutt stays right with it. Puck shot backwards by Thudium. Around behind the net. In after it is Biofor. Biofor, headman pass to Holland. Dennis Holland up the left wing boards. Here comes Holland. Tries to get it through a cluster of players, and the Americans break it up. Shot back into the Portland end once again. Can't do much damage from there. Half a minute remaining in the power play. Here come the Winterhawks. Jorgensen chipping it right out of play up into the crowd. And probably a good time to remind you that it's a good idea to keep your eye on that puck at all times. That's 5.5 ounces of frozen vulcanized rubber, and it will in fact put tread marks on your head.
They'll stamp it right on you.
22 seconds remaining in the penalty to Sherstenka. 11:54 in the first period. Winterhawks leading 2-0 over the Tri-City Americans. Barnes against Scott Meiden just outside the blue line. Now Kutowicz being ordered by the linesman to move a little bit away from Brent Fleetwood. They both had to occupy the exact same square inch of ice as Barnes wins the draw. It comes out to Duval. He flips it back into the Portland end, but it's stopped there by Jorgensen. Jorgensen bringing it up to center ice, flipping it into the Tri-Cities end. Round behind the net, Furlan there to stop it. Now whips it off the glass. Ooh, it came up short. Went into the corner, but Duval there to save it. Murray Duval whipping it the length of the ice, and the power play is over. Winterhawks go 1 for 2 on the power play. Americans 0 for 1 so far. Here come the Winterhawks. Biofor shoots it ahead to Meiden. Meiden gloves it, drops it, and brings it across the blue line, left to right. Ooh, he's whacked by Kutowicz. Loses the puck there to Barnes. Barnes ahead to LeBrun. Here comes LeBrun, and he has to wheel around, pull up short. Gets it into the slot, but there's nobody home for the Americans. Quick pass ahead now, intended for Graham. Jamie Graham is tied up, and we have a whistle. As Graham and
two-line pass.
Kutowicz go down. Pass covered 2 lines for the Winterhawks. Americans on a quick shift change. Portland also changing shifts. In the first intermission, we'll be talking with Portland Winterhawks general manager Brian Shaw.
Portland coming into the game is averaging 6.07 goals per game, second highest in WHL. And they've scored 16 goals in the 3 meetings against the Tri-City Americans so far this year.
Brian Shaw, one of the top 10 coaches in his day in the Western Hockey League, coached at Moose Jaw and at Edmonton. Face-off just inside the Portland blue line. Winterhawks win it, and they chase it ahead as Mitchell brings it across the blue line, whips it in behind the Americans' net. Furlan lets it hit the glass, leaves it behind for Kwiatkowski. Kiwi shoots a pass out to Devin Dirksen. Dirksen checked off of it. Winterhawks with it up to the point. Mitchell shoots it in wide of the net. Around for it is Kwiatkowski off the boards. Kwiatkowski has it broken up by Gray Eyes, shoots it into the Portland end. And Dave Foe back behind the net.
Nice
Big
check
hit there by Devin Dirksen.
Beautiful hit.
Dirksen making a big hit. Now the Winterhawks with it. They bring it up into neutral ice as Thudium takes it in left of the Americans net. He leaves it behind, and he takes a big hit from Shane Cole. Cole getting the pass ahead to Kwiatkowski. Shoots it left for Dirksen. Dirksen off of Dirksen's skate. Goes into the corner by a 4, and Dirksen's going to hammer him again. Puck out to neutral ice. Terry Black goes in after it in a hurry. Terry Black won't get any help, though, as he wheels in behind the net. Has it stripped away from him by Krause. Rob Krause digging at it. Now the Winterhawks there. Holland in behind the net to Hamish Black. He loses it to Krause out in the corner. Rob Krause with it. Now shoots it back into the Portland end. Puck goes the length of the ice. Well, no, won't have icing as the goalie came out to play it. And it shot the length of the ice again into the Tri-Cities end. Back for to Scherstenka. Dan Scherstenka, no icing there as it's touched players from both teams. Scherstenka bringing it out, working on Holland. Penalty coming. It'll be on Holland, probably a hook. Whoa! 3 guys went down there. Scherstenka and Delcourt went down.
And I believe it is. Dennis Holland's going to sit down.
Well, if they called Holland for hooking on that.
That's slashing.
Well, that's a little better. I saw the hook, and it would look like kind of a cheap hooking penalty, to be honest. 10:29 of the period, hooking against Dennis Holland. Now the Americans need to get their power play going.
Sticks and debris everywhere down here. The ice conditions look a lot better than they were last night, Kirk.
Yeah, I talked with Jim Laus a little bit ago. His family's here. His wife, Diana, and their 2 kids just got to town today. They said it was 24 below in Saskatoon when they left earlier today. It's like being in a heat wave.
Yeah, summertime.
Dennis Holland in the penalty box from Vernon, British Columbia, part of the Vernon connection for the Winterhawks with Troy Mick. Those 2 played together, Holland and Mick. They're both 19 years old. Played together since they were both about 5.
That's right.
And it do make a difference. 9:31 to go in the first period. Portland leading 2-0 over the Tri-City Americans. Pretty good crowd again tonight. Puck shot toward the net on the faceoff. Barnes around behind the net with it. Barnes with it. Barnes out to the point to LeBrun. LeBrun to Jakes. Jakes starts in down the slot. Shoots! Blocked, and the rebound comes to Spenrath. Barnes takes a whack at it, and Portland will shoot it back into neutral ice. Ferland plays it out to Jakes. Boy, a couple of big chances there for the Americans. And again, Byron Defoe playing upside down, doing a great job. Stu Barnes bringing it in. You hear the fans hollering, Stu, Stu. Gets it back from LeBrun along the boards. Barnes along the left wing boards, or right wing boards rather, up to LeBrun. LeBrun to Jakes. Jakes to Malone on the right side. Malone has it knocked away by Byafor. Shot back out to the point, but Jakes keeping it in play. He has it knocked away by Terry Black. Couple of big hits as they scramble along the boards for it. Now back into the Portland end. In after it quickly is Barnes trying to get his stick on it. Can't. Shot back into neutral ice, and Jakes has it. The Americans clear the zone. Now it's dumped into the Portland end. Back in there for it are the Winterhawks, and now it's ripped around the boards into the Tri-Cities end. Ferland there, leave it behind the net as Thudium raced in on him. Calvin Thudium tried to center it, couldn't do it. Big slap shot coming, blocked by Ferland. Rebound, scored. Portland scored. Oh, they had Ferland turned inside out.
A shorthanded goal.
Maiden, that looked like a power play goal.
That sure did.
Maiden getting the score, and the fans are, let's say the natives are a little restless.
Middlestad took a shot from the blue line that hit Frank Ferland, bounced up into the air, and Scott Maiden right there as it bounced around in front. Ferland just turned all over the place.
And the assist from number 16, Calvin Thudium, and number 24, Joey Middlestad. Time of goal 11:54.
And there's a timeout, it looks like. Coach John Oliver wants to regroup his players. Down 3-0 against this very strong Portland team.
And we'll be back in 30 seconds on this KOTY Americans hockey broadcast.
This man is a personal investor. So is this man. This man gets stock quotes from the database retrieval service. This man gets quotes from
Your names are on by for $100,000 shootout during the first intermission. Ken or Stephanie Cash, if you're in the audience tonight, please check in right now.
They've only given up 19 goals, and that's just a little under, just over 3 a game. But the Americans have given up in the first 12 minutes of the game tonight 3 goals already, and find themselves way against the wall against this team, 3-0.
Well, and you don't get down 3-0 against Portland and
No.
expect to come racing back.
No.
35 seconds remaining in the Americans' power play. And Tri-Cities winning the draw. LeBrun back for it. Oh, he lost it right in front of the net. LeBrun saved there by Barnes. Barnes saved his bacon as Thudium had another whack at it. Here comes Barnes, 3-on-3. Barnes centered it for Malone, and Malone wiped out in front of the net. Back to Barnes. Stu Barnes on the right side. Barnes, another drive. Blocked away out front by Maiden. Maiden shoots it ahead to Thudium. 10 seconds left in the Americans' power play. Thudium back into his own zone to Mitchell. Mitchell with it, taking his time. Now shoots at the length of the ice on goal, and Furlan whips it back into neutral ice for Scherstenka. Scherstenka to Barnes as Holland's penalty is over.
And
Barnes.
Spenrath
really
and
Spenrath and Jorgensen.
Here we go.
Jorgensen was just all over Greg Spenrath. And this could be a pretty good one. These are a pair of heavyweights. Spenner's on his knees now. Jorgensen on top of him. Kevin Jorgensen, 6 foot, 200-pounder out of Maple Ridge, British Columbia. Spenrath from Edmonton, 6'2", 215. And
it looks like Greg wants to keep on holding on. The linesman finally break it up.
I don't think Greg really intended for that fight to get started. There was a big hit down there. And now he's still chirping at Jorgensen. Those two fought before.
Oh, here we go.
Now they're banging on the glass at each other. Spenrath says, hey, come on. Well, that'll be fun when those two get back on the ice. They'll each get 5 minutes for fighting.
And referee Forbes is just asked, oh, and they're going to put Jorgensen out.
I think Jorgensen may have just ended his evening here. We'll have to wait till we get the announcement.
I think they just sent him off to the showers.
Nope, Spenrath's going too.
Well, no. What? Yep,
Let's see what happens.
He's doing.
Spenrath is really hot. He's mad at the referee too. Penalty comes at 12:40, or the fight comes at 12:40 of the period. And we're going to have to wait till we get the announcement from referee Forbes, as the phones are ringing, believe me.
I tell you.
There's a phone in the press box, in the official scorer's box. They call Barry Kilburn, who's the head of the off-ice officials. He talks to the scorer's table and then to the press box. And we'll have the official announcement coming up momentarily, as Spenrath is gone and Jorgensen is gone.
Penalties, first of all, for the Portland Winterhawks, number 21, Kevin Jorgensen, 5 minutes for fighting, plus a 10-minute game misconduct, or a 10-minute misconduct, excuse me. And for the Tri-Cities, number 27, Greg Spenrath, 5 minutes for fighting, plus a 10-minute misconduct. The time of the penalties, the 12:40.
Both players getting a chance to go to the respective locker rooms and cool their jets. They'll both be back. But it sure doesn't do their teams much good.
Yeah.
As the Americans win the draw, taking in behind the Portland net, and the Winterhawks get it right back. And now it's shot out of play by James Hamish Black. Hamish Black tied up there by Kutowicz. There is not an extraordinary amount of love lost between these two clubs. The Winterhawks have had the Americans' number.
Oh, they certainly have.
And the number goes like this: 5-4 the first time Portland they played at Portland, 7-3 the second time, and then 4-1 here on Thanksgiving. Face-off just outside the Tri-Cities blue line. Back to Kutowicz. Cutter with it, gets it to Duval. Murray Duval puts a good move on Biafor, or Holland rather, and it's into the Portland end. Along the boards is McNutt. McNutt digging at it, and they'll freeze it quickly right there. I don't think they want to leave much time for any extracurricular activity in the corners.
This is kind of uncharacteristic, as I mentioned about Portland. Portland's a very well-coached team. Mr. Ken Hodge, he is a very strict discipline too, and he doesn't like to see his players go out there and do any kind of extracurricular activity and get involved in any kind of penalties. That just hurts his team, and his team's a free skating, free shooting, free high-scoring team, and they like it that way. They don't like to sit in the penalty box.
Face-off to the left of Byron Defoe. The Portland netminder. Americans win it. Comes out to the point. A shot from there. Big drive by
Watch
LeBrun, and it's stopped
Fans
inside.
drawing the name of another season ticket.
Well, you got to watch out up there. Those fans out there.
Stick save. That one went right up over the glass
Lindgren Jr.
like a bullet.
Roy Lindgren Jr. If you're here tonight.
3-0, Portland leading on a power play goal. A full strength goal by Holland on a breakaway, and then a shorthanded goal.
Roy Lindgren Jr.
3-0, Portland leading. 6.5 minutes to go in the first period. On the faceoff, Winterhawks win it. They shoot it ahead now to Thudium. Calvin Thudium across the blue line. Gets it ahead to Gorley, and Gorley is in too soon. Offsides will get it back outside the blue line, and it will be in the faceoff circle or faceoff dot. Well, right about straight away from Frank Furlan.
Right where the offside occurred.
3-0 Portland leading here at Tri-Cities Coliseum. Early in the game, about 2/3 of the way through the first period. Barnes and Gorley. Gorley winning the draw. Portland shooting it in, but Jake's there to stop it for the Americans. Over to Scherstenka. Dan Scherstenka. Headman pass for Barnes and offsides as Barnes went in too quick.
You know, Kirk, I've been watching Portland and how they come down their break as they come up the ice. They are very well coached, and these guys take a lot of pride in those passes. They skate well. That's no wonder that Portland's ranked up there in the top of the Canadian Hockey League.
6 minutes, 15 seconds to go. The Canadian Hockey League.
And we got Rob Krause going to go at it right here.
Krause and Middlestad are going to go. Now, I don't know where that's all started. Now, Middlestad is chasing Krause around. Hasn't taken his helmet off. Still got one glove on. Looks like he wants to throw a haymaker. Krause dropped his gloves and helmet. Middlestad didn't. And Krause was backing away from Middlestad. Now Middlestad calling him on.
You know, I talked with Rob Krause before the game tonight.
Strange.
Yeah. I talked with Rob before the game tonight, and I asked him about how come, you know, there's been 3 games now and there hasn't been a fight. I didn't ask him why wasn't there one. I had mentioned it to him, and he told me that it's something that the players have when it gets close to Christmas. And what that is they don't like going home to mom and dad with black eyes.
Well, the way Spenrath and Jorgensen were going at it, that could change quick.
Yeah.
Well, more misconducts. We'll get the call from... I would think that Middlestad's got to get an extra 2 for instigating, but maybe not. I don't know.
Well, the linesman
looked like
right
he
there.
was calling Krause on.
Rob was wanting to get his
Portland
helmet off.
penalty to number 24, Joey Middlestead, a 10-minute misconduct. Tri-Cities penalty to number 2, Rob Krause, also a 10-minute misconduct. The time of the penalties, 13:45.
And the faceoff comes outside the Americans' blue line. Rennie losing it. Portland shooting it in, but it goes right off Rennie's stick. Right back to Bayafour. Bayafour whipping it through the zone. Into the Tri-Cities end. Back for it quickly is Duval. Duval turns around, evades a hit there by Fleetwood. And they scramble for it along the boards. Puck centered right in front of Furlan. Great save on Graham. Now here come the Americans, 3-on-2. McNutt bring it across the blue line. McNutt with Rennie. McNutt with it. Speeds a pass over on the right side intended for Cole, and it's broken up by Portland. Now Kwiatkowski goes in, makes a big hit, and gets the puck back for the Americans. Duval, a score! Murray Duval!
Oh, yeah. Murray Duval takes a shot right at the right wing, slaps it at about 45 feet, hits it right on the inside pad. Byron Defoe bounces off his pad and into the net, and the Americans are on the board finally.
Boy, that was a big shot by Murray Duval.
And he needed that one. He's been feeling a little down about not scoring and being productive, and that's his 4th goal of the season. Murray Duval.
Good play by Rennie along with him, and Kwiatkowski and Shane Cole. And McNutt. Let's see who gets the assists here. Now the line of Barnes, LeBrun, and Malone on for the Americans. Jakes and Scherstenka, the D-men. Americans running out of D-men here. We'll get the announcement from Tom Lakeman in a minute. The Americans winning the draw. Scherstenka with it. Scherstenka headmans for LeBrun. LeBrun sweeps it ahead for Barnes. Losing the puck there to Hamish Black.
Tri-City Americans
Hamish Black back behind his own net. Beats a pass out, and it's almost stolen away by LeBrun. Shot back into the Portland end. Winterhawks with it.
The assist for number 15, Steve McNutt. The time of the goal, 14-24.
McNutt getting the assist. They get it back into neutral ice. Americans with it. Intended for Malone. Knocked away from him by Terry Black. Black across the blue line. Black brings it in. Tried to center it. Broken up by Scherstenka. They race in behind the net. Malone. Now Jakes out to Malone. Malone along the boards, but it's knocked away from him by Raymond. And the Americans get it back into neutral ice. They head to Barnes. Here comes Barnes, 3-on-2. You hear the fans as Barnes leaves it for LeBrun. Where was LeBrun? LeBrun couldn't get his stick on it, and Holland brings it up for Portland. Holland across the blue line. Out front it goes to Hamish Black. His shot, a big drive, deflected out front by Furlan. It goes back into neutral ice. Delcourt races in after it. Delcourt centers for Barnes right through the slot, and Barnes couldn't get to it. Wiping out in front of it is Duval. Puck shot the length of the ice. It'll be icing as soon as Scherstenka can touch it, or Kutowitz can touch it. Cutter does. Gets there just ahead of Calvin Thudium, and it'll be icing. If the Portland player gets to it, then it becomes either a two-line pass or an offsides. It becomes a two-line pass, and the puck is put into play in center ice or in neutral ice. If it's icing, they take it all the way back into the Portland end.
That's why those Portland players want to try to get down there so they can get it as far away from their netminder as they possibly can.
And it goes to the left of Byron Defoe. 3-1. Portland leading the Tri-City Americans. Delcourt on the faceoff with Dirksen and Trevor Sand. Boy, there's a bang and grinding line for you.
You bet.
And those three aren't very big. Dirksen stands 5'10", Trevor Sand 5'9", and Delcourt.
They got a penalty coming.
5'11", penalty coming. Scherstenka gets to the puck on the faceoff.
Looks like Chad Viafor's going to sit down for a little tripping. And he got Trevor Sand and tripped him right up at the front of the net. You bet, that's what the call is.
Tripping, the call against Viafor.
Right
comes at 15:50 of the period.
Number 11, Chad Viafor, 2 minutes for tripping at 15:50.
At the end of the faceoff there, you could see Trevor Sand heading towards the net. Viafor got his stick down underneath Trevor Sand's skates, tripped him up, and he's going to sit down and think about it for a couple.
Power play number 3 for the Americans coming up. Portland 1 for 2. Americans 0 for so far. 4:10 to go in the first period, and the wave starts. Oh, the players love that wave. Barnes with Kwiatkowski and Malone. And you see the wave whipping around.
Here we go.
Listen as it comes around underneath the press box. Well, you can sure hear it as it goes around the Coliseum. I still want them to start a spiral wave where they start at row 1 and pick up a row as they go all the way around.
That's looking pretty good.
Barnes with Kwiatkowski and Malone as they take their time getting ready to start. LeBrun and Jakes at the point. Americans on the power play. Portland penalty killers, Jamie Graham, Roy Mitchell, Mike Moore, and Scott Maiden. The Winterhawks acting like they've never seen anything quite like that before. Now the referee comes over to talk with Sean LeBrun and goes over to the box. I don't know what the delay is. We'll have to wait and get it from Tom Lathan. Comes over to have a word with LeBrun, who's wearing the assistant captain's A. And
they just took time out to watch the wave.
Well, they're well, let's wait and see what we got here. As the face-off, the puck shot toward the net goes into the right corner. Now it's play comes back out to the blue line. Barnes to LeBrun. LeBrun with it at the left point. Back to Barnes. Stu Barnes behind the back pass for LeBrun. LeBrun tries to get it into Kwiatkowski, who's camped inside right in front of the net. Down to Barnes now. Stu Barnes with it on the wing underneath the Kwiatkowski wrap. Brady shot, and it's blocked. Graham takes it out of there for Portland, whips it the length of the ice. Back in behind the Americans' net, the Magician leaving it there for Sean LeBrun. Here comes LeBrun. Sean LeBrun for the Americans. Will bring it across the blue line. LeBrun taking it in, fakes the shot, wheels around behind the net. Looking for somebody, comes out to the point now to Jakes. Jakes over to Frank Malone. Malone goes down low to Barnes. Barnes on the wing, back up front to LeBrun. LeBrun back to Jakes. Steve Jakes at the blue line to LeBrun. LeBrun a drive blocked inside by Defoe. Great stick save by Byron Defoe. Puck chipped loose by Portland. Back to the blue line. Saved by Jakes, but they lost it at the blue line. Portland's Dennis Holland digging at it. Now LeBrun has it. Gets it right to Jakes. 46 seconds in the penalty. Jakes brings it up. Leaves it at the blue line for Kwiatkowski. Now goes over to Malone. Frank Malone along the left wing boards. Malone whipping it around behind the net. It goes to Barnes. Barnes keeping it in play as Mitchell tried to whack it out of there. Shot back behind the net. Malone trying to keep it in play for the Americans. Portland will get to it. Now they whip it back into neutral ice. Back forward is LeBrun as the Americans clear the zone. Barnes wheels around. You hear the fans yelling, Stu, Stu. Barnes takes it in. Splits the defenseman. Takes it in. Shot! Barnes, and it's blocked. Rebound comes out to the left side. Great save by Defoe. Defoe gets it out to Mitchell. Mitchell with it across neutral ice. Shoots it there. Blocked into the zone by Graham. Graham into the Tri-City zone. Knocked off his skates by LeBrun. Here comes Brunner. The Americans 4-on-3. Penalties over. Portland back to full strength. LeBrun wheels off to the right side. Shot blocked by Defoe. And now Delcourt with it around behind the net. Back out front to Duval. Duval a drive! Defoe blocks it. Rebound comes down in front of him, and Defoe will cover up. Byron Defoe covers up for the Winterhawks.
And Roy Mitchell and Greg Delcourt down there wishing each other a Merry Christmas. They're pushing each other pretty good around there.
3-1 the score. The Portland Winterhawks leading the Tri-City Americans. Oh boy, have they made Defoe play beautiful hockey.
Murray Duval with another beautiful slap shot. Those things are traveling at 90 miles an hour plus. And Defoe right there keeping great concentration while everybody's running interference in front of him. Give him that screen. That's excellent concentration.
Minute 50 to play. Rennie facing off against Gorley. To the right of Defoe. Gorley wins the draw. Back behind the net is Bayafour. Bayafour checked off of it by Rennie. Back out along the board. Sherstenka or Kutowicz there, and Rennie to try to break it up. Rennie breaks it up. McNutt puts a big hit on. What a hit by McNutt.
And we're going to have a penalty.
Nutter's going to get a cross-checking penalty, I think, or boarding. Let's see. As he came racing up from behind and really hammered Gorley. Brian Gorley. McNutt goes to the box.
Oh, yeah.
And the call will be
to number 15, Steve McNutt. 2 minutes for interference at 18.
Okay, interference the call, and it comes at 18:25 of the period. Portland on their third power play now. The Americans 0 for 3. Portland currently 1 for 2. Now the penalty killer's on for the Americans. Rennie with Duval, Delcourt, and Jakes. Those are all, well, 3 of those 4 guys can play on the defensive side of the blue line without any trouble at all. And the Winterhawks get it ahead to Terry Black. Black losing it at neutral ice, and another penalty coming up. Well, this could be interesting. Another interference call. And it will go against number 12, Jamie Hamish Black. And that takes care of the Portland power play.
Portland penalty to number 12.
And that comes at 18:34 the period.
18:34.
Well, that was a 9-second power play for the Americans. Portland will have or for Portland rather, the Americans will have a 9-second power play at the other end of this thing. Actually, both of those penalties will extend into the second period. Now we got a minute and 26 seconds of 4-on-4. This is the time that Stu Barnes, for example, likes the best. I suspect Dennis Holland does too. The ice a bit less crowded. Barnes against Holland on the face-off at center ice. Holland winning it. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell, headman pass to Black. Terry Black has it knocked away by Duval. Barnes trying to get to it from Thudium into the right of the net. As Duval shoots a pass ahead to Malone. Here comes Frank Malone. Holland takes it off his stick. Centered for Terry Black. Had it knocked away out front by the Americans, and another penalty coming up. The Americans with it. Portland. And another one as Holland is just wiped out, but he took a stick on the side of the head. Under a minute to play. Jakes leaving it for LeBrun. LeBrun to Duval. The Americans have pulled their goalie, and another big hit as Holland gets hammered again by Frank Malone. Malone got real tired of Dennis Holland's action, I think. Now Malone wants a piece of Holland.
And
as
Holland is
lays on
hurt.
the ice. He is really hurt. 51 seconds to play in the first period. Here comes the Portland trainer, Ennis Mackey, as the players kind of clear away from Dennis Holland now. And with the Winterhawks leading 3-1, 51 seconds to play in the period, we'll take timeout. 30 seconds on this KOTY Americans. Americans with a 4-on-3 advantage for 51 seconds remaining in the period. Now Duval leaves the ice. Jakes goes over, has a word with the referee. And not sure what exactly the situation is now. Could this be 5-on-3? It can't be.
Portland's defense now is going to be the triangle defense right in front of the net.
4-on-3. Barnes repositions Jakes. The draw won by the Americans. LeBrun with it. 4-on-3. Tri-Cities for 51 seconds. LeBrun down in a corner. Out to Barnes. Throws it right to Jakes. Jakes with it. Steve Jakes back to Stu Barnes. Barnes starts in. Finds LeBrun left of the net. Runner in around behind the net. Has it broken up there. Another penalty coming up. And it will be against
Sean LeBrun.
Yeah, I think so.
A little 3-on-3 hockey.
Why not? LeBrun gets whistled down. It's probably going to be tripping or interference. It is tripping against LeBrun. And that comes at 19:30 of the period. And I have lost total track of power plays. There are, I think, 4 power plays of a few seconds duration going to happen in the next 2 minutes. And they mean not much, frankly. 30 seconds to go. 3-on-3. Barnes will face off. Barnes winning the draw. Barnes gets the puck to Schuster. Drive! Blocked by Defoe. Round behind the net goes Mitchell. Mitchell with it behind his own net. 21 seconds. 3-on-3. Mitchell. Mitchell goes right to Chad Biafor. Barnes. Barnes steals it. Barnes wheels in. Barnes a shot. Stu Barnes.
Stu Barnes. What a play by Stewie. Stu Barnes takes a pass, steals it at the blue line, goes in on Defoe and turns Defoe inside out any which way he could and shoots it up, way up in the corner over his stick side, and Defoe was sitting on the ground going, I can't believe it.
3-2 the hockey game.
Oh, what a move.
You see what an impact player Stu Barnes can be.
That is incredible.
Rennie now on the faceoff. Still 3-on-3 for 9 seconds.
Second goal.
Rennie winning the draw. Schuster to Jakes. 5 seconds. Jakes across the blue line. Jakes a shot. Reblocked by Defoe easily, and time runs out. At the end of the first period, in a wild hockey game, the score, Portland 3, Tri-Cities 2. We'll be back in 2 minutes on this KOTY Americans hockey broadcast.
Columbia Cable, bringing you 47.
Well,
Looks to me like it's going to be 3-on-3.
and it looks like we've got 3 people on each team sitting in the penalty box. They're
Krause, LeBrun, and McNutt.
serving refreshments down there. Oh, we got 4 down there in Portland.
4 Winterhawks.
I was hoping you had this all straightened out. You know?
Ain't my job. You're the color commentator.
Okay, well, we got 4 Americans in there too. Like I say, there's going to be a big party at the end of the penalty box.
Spinrath's in there too. Yeah.
Forgot about that one.
There's as many people in the penalty box now as there are on the bench. Not quite, but it'll be 3-on-3 now for 25 seconds. Then Portland will have a 9-second power play. Then it'll be 4-on-4 for another 25 seconds, and then Portland will have then Tri-Cities will have a 25-second power play.
Very good.
Did I get that all right?
I think you got it. That's great.
By Jove, I think
He's got. Oh, and the face-off.
Barnes on the face-off, losing it to Portland. Here come the Winterhawks. Moore feeding it on the right. Got it to Meiden. Meiden dumping it in. It's on goal, and Furlan just leaves it behind the net now for Jakes. Jakes turns around. Here come the Americans. 3-on-3. 10 seconds remaining in 1 penalty. Barnes across the blue line. Barnes has it stripped away. Winterhawks with it around behind the net. They get it around to Biafor. Now Mitchell bringing it up. Roy Mitchell. Mitchell across the blue line. Drive, and it's blocked out front as Sherstenka goes down and takes a shot on his pads. And we had a whistle as Portland, I think, was offside.
Steve Jakes threw his body out for that, and I'll tell you, that's a great defensive play. When you can throw your body out and just sacrifice everything to help out your goaltender, your goalie owes you, well, a case of beverages, I think, at the end of the game.
Well, now, it's a power play for the Americans for about 21 seconds. Tri-City's power play now, 4-on-3, as Rennie will face off. Rennie and Barnes, Sherstenka, and Jakes. Portland winning the draw. Bayamfor with it. Back in neutral ice. Shoots it into the Tri-City end. Jakes back for it. Americans with a man advantage. Now the Winterhawks back to 4. 4-on-4 now for 30 seconds. Jakes a drive, and it goes over the glass and out of play into the opening where the Zamboni ice machine comes out.
I think I saw Jim Laux out there catching that one.
And now it's 4-on-4 for another 27 seconds. Then Portland will have a brief power play. And if this seems a little bit silly to you, it actually is. You heard what Brian Shaw had to say about it, and that's probably about as much as you need to say about all the guys leaving the ice with 10-minute misconducts.
I see Dennis Holland back on the Portland bench, so his injury in the first period probably wasn't life-threatening.
Barnes with Rennie and Sherstenka and Jakes. For Portland, it is Graham with Thudium, Bayamfor, and Mitchell. Face-off won by Portland. Barnes goes down on his
And we're going to have a penalty.
Mitchell has the puck. Penalty coming up. Mitchell with it across the blue line. Slides it into the corner, and Mitchell gets upended by Jakes. Big time. And let's wait for the call. It's a slash. And it will go against, looks like the Americans, Jakes. Jakes says, what? Who, me?
I don't know.
That was kind of a cheap penalty, too, I think. 53 seconds into the period. You hear the fans react to it. They didn't like it either.
Ooh, that was a little tight.
Tri-City's penalty is number 4, Steve Jakes. 2 minutes for slashing at the 53.
Well, he's down there with a bunch of buddies, you know.
Well, and so now the Portland power play will be a full power play and then some for the Portland Winterhawks. Face off to the left-hand side of Portland, won by the Americans. It's 4-on-3. Portland with it. Portland power play. Bayamfor slides it down right. They center it. Shot. It hit the pipe. And Ferland fell on the puck.
Oh, my.
Shot came from Holland on the left side, hit the pipe, and slid right across in front of Frank Ferland.
And Dennis Holland does not know how in the world he missed that. He had that net all open. Had 4 feet by 6 feet sitting there staring him right in the
Ferland
face.
looking skyward saying, oh, thank you, great one. Oh, watcher over of netminders.
How he missed that. Dennis Holland's got 31 goals on the year. He doesn't miss too often.
Well, in 3 seconds, Portland will be back to full strength. Then it'll be 5-on-3 for 21 seconds. And then Portland will have a regular power play. Rennie against Hamish Black. Puck is dropped. Rennie wins the draw to Sherstenka. Sherstenka takes it into the corner. Dug away from him by Hamish Black. Portland back to full strength. 16 seconds remaining in the penalty to LeBrun. Winterhawks with it. Out to Moore. Moore a drive wide of the net. And rebound comes to Black, and his shot is blocked back beside the net. Back to Moore. Moore shooting it down into the corner to Hamish Black. Back out front now to Holland. Holland out to Moore. Moore goes left to Bayamfor. Here comes LeBrun. Bayamfor chipping it into the corner. LeBrun's there. Shooting at the length of the ice into the Portland end. Back for it go the Winterhawks. Bayamfor, Chad Bayamfor will wheel back behind his own goal. Minute 6 to go in the penalty to Steve Jakes. This a Portland power play. The Winterhawks are 1 for 3. I'm going to call it. This is their 4th. Puck into the right of the net. Portland with it. Winterhawks. Holland backhands it across the slot. And Ferland managed to check it away. Now the Americans ice it once again. Back to the Portland end. Dave Foe leaving it behind the net. Leaving it behind for Bayamfor. He's forced in there by the Americans. McNutt Now back to the Portland or Tri-Cities end. And Duval taking a big slap shot. It's on goal. Save made by Defoe. Back to the Portland blue line. Here come the Winterhawks. Headman pass ahead to Black. Black up the right wing boards. Has it checked away by Cole. Gets it back. Smothered by McNutt. Back into neutral ice. 15 seconds remaining in the penalty. And wheeling back for it is Roy Mitchell. Mitchell shoots a pass the length of the ice intended for Fleetwood. It'll come out to Sherstenka for icing. Fleetwood never got near that pass.
No. You know, Kirk, as I was watching Portland's break as they were heading up the ice, I like to watch how Terry Black and Hamish Black and Dennis Holland, as they were bringing it up, the three forwards. Now, when you see that, they come across the blue line. Terry Black was carrying the puck, and Hamish Black cuts right beside him, taking all the interference away from Dennis Holland, who's open on the right wing. He goes straight in on net, and a pass right to Dennis Holland, and that's how they do it. It's an incredible play, and they are very well schooled at it.
4 seconds remaining in the penalty to Jakes. 3-2, Portland leading. Winterhawks 1 for 3 on power plays so far. It'll be Graham against Malone. Graham winning the draw to Raymond, back behind his own net. Raymond shoots a pass out the right side. Penalty to Jakes is over. Jakes in the middle of the play. Portland gets it ahead to Graham. Graham across the blue line, right side, tried to center it. Gets it right back, taken off his stick by Jakes. It was Raymond and Fleetwood. Puck shot into the Portland end. Winterhawks back for it. As Kwiatkowski races in, did he touch it first? No, but it stays in play. Puck shot into the neutral zone. Here comes Portland. Graham. Graham 2-on-3. Graham across the blue line. Tries to get around Jakes. Jakes diving for the puck. Tried to wrap it around. Knocked away there by Devin Dirksen. Dirksen to Kwiatkowski. Malone. Malone and Kwiatkowski. Malone takes it into the corner. Kwiatkowski with it left of the net. Graham on him. Now Portland with it as they steal it off of Kwiatkowski's stick. Back to Biafor. Biafor drives it into the corner. Racing it after it is Thudium. Thudium beaten to the puck by Murray Duval. Shot back into neutral ice. Back forward to the Winterhawks. Moore with it. Pass goes ahead to Mark Greyeyes. He's taken off. Uphands Dirksen. Boy, no whistle there. Right side of the net it goes. Defoe leaving it there. Barnes in after it. Knocked off his stick, and Gorley has it. Gorley behind the net. Boy, they wheel around, do these Winterhawks. Checked away at center ice by Duval. Dumped back into the Portland end. Rennie races in after it. But Rennie checked out of the play by Moore. Here comes Portland Winterhawks. Biafor. Headman pass to Thudium. Thudium checked off the puck, and it goes in front of Ferlin, and Ferlin will cover it up. Now Sherstenka and Greyeyes trade slashes. I don't think we'll get a penalty because there's no damage done, but boy, those two would like to go at it.
There's a great defensive play by Murray Duval as well, taking his man out of the play, Thudium from Portland. And Thudium had just a little bit of a skate advantage on Murray Duval, but that's a sign of a good forward as well. Get around the defenseman and head to the net. And Murray Duval right there to stop him. Frank Ferlin there to cover up the puck.
Face off to the left of Ferlin, the magician. And it will be for Portland, Holland, along with Hamish Black and Terry Black. And for the Tri-City Americans, Rick Fry with Delcourt and McNutt. Now McNutt in to take the draw. McNutt against Dennis Holland. McNutt slides in there and puts a shoulder into Dennis Holland. McNutt will be asked to leave the face-off circle, and now Delcourt goes in against Holland. Face-off into the corner. There's a strategy there. Yeah, Kotowitz with it behind his own net. Kotowitz shoots a pass ahead now to McNutt. McNutt has it poked away by Portland. Back for Krause behind the net. Rob Krause shoots a pass out to Rick Fry. Gets by everybody into the Portland zone. And Defoe whips it back to center ice to Hamish Black. Hamish Black has it knocked away by Fry, but it's kept in play by Terry Black. Back into the corner, and Jamie Hamish Black whips it in behind the Americans' net. Left there for Krause. Krause shoots it out along the boards for Delcourt. Delcourt and Fry dig at it. Now it's loose, sliding toward the slot. Here comes Black. His shot blocked away by McNutt. Another drive from out front, wide of the net. Off the stick of Mitchell. Now the Americans bring it out. And they shoot it the length of the ice, and it goes in behind the Portland net. for icing.
Turn to page 2 of your Tri-City Americans showcase.
The Americans need to do a little bit more of the forechecking that got them the victory last night.
Yep.
And if you can remember how they forechecked and really kept the corners and behind the net, pinching the ice, the way that Coach John Oliver likes to call it, that is what got them that win last night. They've got to pick up that intensity and start with it right now.
3-2 as Murray Duval will be our guest in the penalty box at the end of the game. Duval, a second-round draft pick of the New York Rangers out of Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. It is Barnes losing the face-off to Graham as the Americans scramble to get it out of their own zone. Headman pass intended for Barnes, off his stick, but LeBrun has it. Across the blue line, Rennie will keep it in play. Wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. Down into the Portland end. Now shot behind the Portland net. In after it is LeBrun. LeBrun out front. Schustenka drive. And it's blocked out front by Defoe. Now Portland with it. Winterhawks getting it across the blue line. 3-on-2. Shot away from them by the Americans. Now into the Tri-Cities end. Back behind the net. Furlan leaves it for Jakes. Jakes to Kraus. Kraus working, or Schustenka bringing it out. His pass to LeBrun. Headman pass to Barnes left side. Barnes with it across the blue line. Has it checked away by Portland. Now Barnes taking a whack at Graham as his pass stolen away by LeBrun. LeBrun with it. He has it stolen away and neutralized by Meiden. Meiden gets it right to Bayafour. Bayafour airs it into the Tri-City zone. Back behind the net is Kraus. Kraus shoots a pass ahead to Barnes. Great pass to Barnes. And Stewie couldn't quite handle it. Back forward is Thudium for the Winterhawks. Thudium goes left now to Middlestat. Middlestat loses the puck to Barnes. Jakes with it. Jakes taking it in. Goes over left to Barnes. Fry with it as he wipes out in the corner. Rick Fry has the puck. Fry now has it taken away and shot behind the Portland net. Out to Jakes the point. Jakes tied up there by two Portland players. Comes out to LeBrun. LeBrun a drive! Hits Barnes in the backside. Now Fry gets to it. Flips it wide of the net. Comes out to the corner. Shot back into neutral ice. Jakes is there for the Americans. Gray eyes on him. Jakes back to Mitchell. Here comes Roy Mitchell. Mitchell goes left. Shoots! Nice shot! Blocked by Furlan. Great save by the Magician.
Great save.
Goes across the blue line into the Portland end. LeBrun goes in with more. They hammer against the boards. Comes out to Calvin Thudium. Thudium to Kraus. Kraus keeping it in play and will have offside. As Kraus had LeBrun trapped inside the zone.
Frank Furlan doing his flopping move, slides over with his pads, stops a great shot. Now, I'll tell you what, Frank does that game in and game out. It's like,
oh, he comes up with big saves on point-blank shots.
Every game.
3-2, the Winterhawks leading the Tri-City Americans, but the Americans have scored the last two times. Face-off, won by the Winterhawks. They go left to Bayafour. Behind the back pass, broken up by McNutt. McNutt in neutral ice, has it knocked away by Black. Shot over in front of the Americans' net. Furlan leaves it for Cole. Cole around behind the net, whips it around the boards left to right. Gets it out front. Now a headman pass for Kwiatkowski. Kwiatkowski across the blue line, 2-on-2. Kwiatkowski will have to take it around behind the net. Checked off the puck there by Bayafour. Bayafour getting it. And it's shot back around to Hamish Black. Jamie Hamish Black shoots a pass ahead to Holland. Holland goes right to Terry Black. Black with it across the blue line offside.
And Kraus is having a couple words with Holland.
Kraus, or Kwiatkowski now, and Kwiatkowski and Moore, and Kraus talking to Holland. The linesman whistle in there quick and separate the intended combatants, as Jorgensen and Spenrath both end their 10-minute misconducts and will go back to their respective benches.
Coach Ken Hodge of Portland has pulled that line out because he doesn't want to see that particular line get stuck with too many major penalties for fighting.
No, those guys, if Holland and company spend time in the penalty box, that really hurts the Winterhawks.
And that's a good coaching move. Pull them off while they are still available.
Well, the Americans have the line of sin with Robertson and Fry now. In against Portland, Scott Meiden. Meiden winning the draw. But it's shot into the Americans' end where Duval has it. Duval ahead to Kutowicz. Cutter shoots it into the corner. Puck in behind the Portland net. The Americans will have it. Fry races into the corner after it. Fry with Middlestat. as Rick Fry and Middlestead dig for the puck along the boards, and they'll freeze it there. Boy, they're quick to freeze the puck tonight, Tony, it seems like.
Yeah, they sure are. And last night, if you remember, Kirk, the Americans kept poking in, trying to get that puck loose, trying to make the play happen. Tonight, they're feeling a little content, you know, to let the play actually develop. They're not trying to make something happen.
Sen with Fry and Robertson now. Trevor Sen to take the draw against Jamie Graham. Now, linesman blowing his whistle, pointing at something. Well, he's going to chase Trevor Sen, and in comes Robertson.
The little fire plug, Trevor Sen.
Robertson wins the draw, but it goes right to Middlestead. Middlestead leaving it behind the net for Graham. Graham wheels around, trying to get it out of his own zone, and it's chipped out of play.
And we got a good catch down there.
As Murray Duval and Scott Mighton both whack at the puck at the same time. 3-2, Portland leading the Tri-City Americans. The Americans coming off a 7-2 win last night over the Lethbridge Hurricanes.
That was a very exciting game, and you might see a little bit of a letdown on the players tonight. Back-to-back big games like that. Kind of tough to play a big game.
Sen, Fry, and Robertson are the line for the Americans. They're still in there. Gourlay to take the draw. Sen wins it. Rick Fry wheels across the blue line. Fry with it. Rick Fry round from the left of the net. Tries to slide it into the crease. Can't do it. Robertson can't get to it.
We got
a penalty coming up. Holding is the call. And I think that will go against Portland. We'll have to wait and see.
Yes, it is.
It'll go against Graham. Jamie Graham for Portland. And the penalty comes at
Gourlay.
Penalty to number 17.
I checked it. It is Gourlay.
2 minutes for holding at 8:34.
Penalty comes at 8:34 of the period.
All right, now's a great time to use the power play.
Americans on their power play.
Yeah.
So far, they're 0 for 3. This will be the 4th of the night. Portland Winterhawk player Rob Flintoff will be one of our guests at in the second intermission. Rob out with a broken hand. Face-off won by the Americans. To the left of the net. Comes out to Jakes at the blue line. Back to LeBrun. LeBrun back to Jakes. Jakes for LeBrun. Ooh, almost broken up. It is broken up. Back into neutral ice by the Winterhawks. LeBrun will have to race back to get it as Maiden is all over him. Sean LeBrun around behind the net.
Better passes.
We'll leave it there for Malone. Malone comes out along the blue line. Has to have help to get it to Barnes. Maiden with it as Maiden tried to tie up Frank Malone. Now here comes Barnes. Barnes, headman pass, stolen away. And
nice
Barnes
check.
just hammered Scott Maiden. Back for it is Jakes. Barnes skating around like, well, you had that one coming, Buckaroo. And here come the Tri-City Americans. This time it's Malone across the blue line. Malone whipping it in behind the net, right to left. And it's shot back out by Dave Full. Back out to the point. Jakes caught there by LeBron. LeBron a drive wide of the net. Rebound. Scores to Barnes.
Sean LeBron takes a shot out from about the top of the slot area, about 45 feet out. Hits Defoe. Defoe gets a rebound, and who's sitting right on the other side? None other than number 14, Stu Barnes. But we're tied, 3-3.
10:27 to go in the period. The goal comes at 9:33 of the second period.
That's his 24th goal of the season. Number 2 tonight. He's had 5 goals, 6 goals in 2 games.
Yep, he sure has. Well, and you hear the crowd as they help out with the call as the Americans win the draw. Delcourt slapping it into the Portland end. We're tied at 3. Puck shot back into neutral ice. Back forward is McNutt. McNutt wheeling around. He fanned at the pass. Gets it now to Spenrath. Shot into neutral ice. Broken up by Biofor. And we have a whistle. It'll be a 2-line pass against Portland, I believe. Oh, puck shot out of play.
Yeah.
That thing is hard to keep your eye on.
Well, you know, Tom Moore, the sports director, was mentioning that if he gets a little piece of dust on his camera lens, he thinks that's the puck.
It is hard to follow sometimes. Rennie on the faceoff at center ice against number 14, Mark Greyeyes. Greyeyes against Rennie. Or check it, it'll be Malone, rather, against Gorley. Now Malone being chased out. In comes Kwiatkowski against Gorley. And the puck is down. Face-off won by Gorley. Goes to Portland Middlestat. Middlestat checked away by Duval. Puck slides in front of Ferland. And Ferland wisely comes out to cover up. He says, wait a minute. Kutowicz and Biofor looked like they might, or check it, Kutowicz and Gorley yapping at each other down there in front of Ferland. And Ferland had to come out and cover up instead of being able to make a good outlet pass.
You know, that goal by Stu Barnes, the power play goal, that's the 5th consecutive game that the Tri-City Americans have scored on a power play. And I think the power play drought, can we call it officially over now, Kurt?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're fair enough.
John Ulver said it was over last night.
Yeah.
3-3 the score. The Americans and Portland Winterhawks tied. Frank Malone against Jamie Hamish Black. On the face-off to the right of Frank Ferland. Now Malone being chased, and in comes Rennie. Rennie and Hamish Black lock sticks, and now Rennie goes out. And Kwiatkowski being called in to take the draw. This time it's shot right toward the net as Hamish Black whapped it right in front of Ferland, and Frank had to react very quickly to cover it up.
That's an art to do that.
Which? Cover it up or shoot it that way?
Both of them, I guess. Frank Ferland, yeah, that's right. Hamish Black is a great face-off man.
Hamish Black against Malone.
And another one.
Shot right at Ferland, and he covers it up.
That is timing.
It surely is, and
he's going to go. Hamish Black.
Ferland, the magician.
I tell you, that takes a lot of concentration from both ends.
Yeah, it does. Ferland talking to his defenseman saying, hey, a little help here, fellas.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt. Hamish Black again against Malone. This time it's chipped off into the corner, and Shane Cole is there. Flips the pass ahead to Kwiatkowski, but Portland keeping it in play. Portland Winterhawks, they drive in on Ferland. A shot, a rebound, score! Rebound came right back out to Holland, and Holland, the sniper, right there to put it in. Dennis Holland.
Oh, my goodness. And that's his second goal.
I'm not sure who got the assist. We'll have to wait and see. Portland leading now 4-3 over the Tri-City Americans as the score comes at 10:18 of the period.
And Dennis Holland, as he was skating back towards the bench, takes his hockey stick and shoves it down into his, like a saber, going down into his sheath.
Portland's 4th goal scored by number 14, Mark Greyeyes. Correction, number 15,
Holland.
Dennis Holland. The assist to number 12, Jamie Hamish Black, and number 9, Terry Black.
12 and 9 getting the assist as the faceoff goes over to the boards. Graham digging at it along with Jakes. It comes out now to Sherstenka. He shoots it in the air to Barnes. Barnes gloves it, gets it ahead to Fry. Rick Fry, and he loses it there to Mitchell. Back into neutral ice. Here come the Winterhawks. And it's stolen away by Barnes as he broke up the pass. Back into neutral ice. Fry. Here comes Rick Fry. 2-on-2. Fry shoots it around behind the net. Fry and LeBrun whistled in. LeBrun keeping it in play. Barnes goes into the corner, and Rick Fry with a puck. Right out in the slot to LeBrun. Brun shot. Blocked by Defoe. LeBrun's lost his stick. Oh, he upends Graham there trying to get to his stick. Portland with it. Sherstenka to break it up. Now it's shot back into neutral ice. Back for it goes Steve Jakes. Jakes wheels around through the zone. Jakes with it for the Americans. Jakes whipping it into the Portland end around the dasherboard. Knocked down there by Defoe. Goes into the corner, but Delcourt has it for the Americans. Delcourt taking a big hit from Gorley. Puck taken off his stick. Here come the Winterhawks. They shoot it ahead for Greyeyes. Greyeyes into the corner with Jakes, and Jakes hammers Greyeyes into the corner. They go around behind the net. Gorley now taken back out of there by Barnes. Here comes Barnes. Barnes beating the defenseman to Delcourt. 2-on-2. Back to Barnes. Barnes wheels around. LeBron and drive. Blocked by Defoe. Defoe stick poking it back out to it. Portland Winterhawk teammate. It comes ahead to Greyeyes, and we'll have a whistle. Two-line pass. Wow-wee. Holy cow, what a save by Brian Defoe.
You know, Stu Barnes came around, did that little back behind drop pass to Sean LeBrun. Sean LeBrun with a blistering slap shot just above the face-off circle on the right side of Defoe, and Defoe right there with the pad save. Beautiful save.
Is that what they mean by a cannonading slap shot? I hope so.
I think
what a shot.
Yep.
8:04 to go, second period. 4-3 the score. Portland leading the Tri-City Americans. A couple of back-to-back goals. They came about 45 seconds apart. On the face-off, a shot, and it's covered up by Defoe. Shot taken out there by Kutowicz. Not a strong shot, kind of a...
I think he was trying to play the rebound or have somebody play the rebound more than anything.
Go ahead.
Cutter's toe is doing pretty well, I guess. He seems to be skating fairly well from that accident yesterday.
Stepped on last night,
yeah.
Or yesterday afternoon. 4-3 the score. Portland leading, 8 minutes to play in the second period here at Tri-Cities Coliseum. Face-off won by the Americans. A drive blocked by Defoe. Comes around to the point, kept in by Kutowicz. Back to Portland. Here come the Winterhawks as Hamish Black beats the defenseman. Now the Americans with it. Spenrath chipping it into the Portland end. Winterhawks back into neutral ice. Kutowicz back for it. Now the Winterhawks shoot it to the right of the goal into the corner. Duval hammers Terry Black. And Duval comes out with a puck. Murray Duval wheels around behind the net. 3-on-2 and a whistle.
And they're going to
call Kutowicz.
Cutter to the box. He just went in and ripped Dennis Holland. And I think Dennis Holland's a marked man right now. And we've got Nutter over in the corner over here, Steve McNutt, doing a little bit of talking over there with Hamish Black. And linesman over there to take care of that.
12:28.
Dennis Holland is probably wondering, gee, guys, I've scored 2 goals against you. What else you guys going to do to let me earn your respect, you know?
Jimmy Hamish Black and Terry Black getting the assist on Holland's goals. Face-off will come in the Tri-City zone at the top of the left face-off circle. To the left, your left, as you look on from center ice, to Frank Furlan's right. And the face-off will be Gorley against Devin Dirksen. On the penalty now to Kutowicz. Dirksen is hit from behind by Gorley. And that doesn't make Dirksen a happy person.
No, it doesn't. And look for Devin to do something about that.
Krause came in to look Gorley in the eye. Now the faceoff goes back to Krause. Krause waits a second, looks at a lane to slap it back into the Portland end. Now plays it off the boards. Back into the Portland zone. Dirksen wheels back to the blue line as the Americans wait for Portland to begin their line rush. Now the puck shot ahead goes left for Gorley. Off the boards and offside called as Dirksen wheels in and takes a pop at Mark Greyeyes. Now right behind Dirksen is Thudium.
Yeah.
Dirksen being cautioned by the linesman who has been, that linesman has been following Dirksen around.
Do you think Forbes is keeping an eye on old number 9 there, Devin Dirksen?
Well, I think he is too, yeah.
And good move by Coach Oliver to pull him off and let him sit down for a couple minutes. We don't want to lose him.
Rennie with Delcourt, Jakes, and Krause. Against Portland, the power play team for Portland is Hamish Black, and Calvin Thudium, and the defensemen for Portland are Bayafor and Mike Moore. Moore with it from Bayafor on the face-off. Stolen away by Rennie. Delcourt gets it. Here comes Delcourt into the Portland end. Delcourt whipping it around the boards, and the Winterhawks back for it. Moore plays it on the right side, intended for Bayafor. He nearly loses it. Chad Bayafor gets it back, and a 2-line pass as it went from Bayafor to Terry Black. Offside pass will put the puck back in play just inside the Portland blue line.
You know, Kirk, the passing game by the Americans has got to improve. They did such a beautiful job last night of passing that puck and hitting it in full stride with the skaters going down ice. Tonight they're getting it behind them again, a little bit ahead of them. It's got to be.
Of course, some of that has to do with the Portland defense.
That's very true.
As McNutt wins the draw. Back to Jakes. On the power play, the Portland Winterhawks trying to break it into the Americans' end. McNutt goes in on Dave Foe as the puck is shot loose. Now here come the Winterhawks. Dennis Holland. Holland flipping it into the corner left of the Americans' net, and Shane Cole there to whip it back out to the point. Stolen by McNutt. Here comes McNutt. McNutt, as he takes more right off his feet. McNutt starts in on Dave Foe. Loses the puck, and it's dumped back in behind the Portland net. Dave Foe leaving it behind him for Hamish Black. Hamish Black gets it out to Biofor. Chad Biofor gets a pass on the right side now to Hamish Black. Jamie Hamish Black across the blue line. Offside is Black. Terry Black got in just a little early.
We'll have a face-off just outside the blue line where the offside occurred.
31 seconds remaining in the power play. The 5th power play for the Winterhawks.
Coach Ken Hodge is over there barking at one of his players. It looks like Hamish Black is getting an earful from Coach Ken Hodge.
And it will be Graham to face off against Rennie. Puck is down. Graham winning it. Portland going left now to Middlestead. Middlestead across the blue line. Duval steals it. Tries to slap it back into the Portland end. Can't. It's shot in front of the net. Krause there to block it, and he will shoot it the length of the ice. Back for it quick is Roy Mitchell. Mitchell wheels around behind his net. Leaves it for Middlestead. Rennie almost there to break it up. Puck's loose right side of the Portland net. Power play is almost over. 7 seconds. 6. Winterhawks bring it up the right side. Fleetwood and Duval there to whip it back into the Portland zone.
Penalties expired.
Penalty expires. Both teams back to full strength. Portland 1 for 5 on power plays. A shot on goal blocked by Ferland. Now in behind the net is Kutowicz, and Duval go in after it. Shot ahead intended for Kwiatkowski. Kiwi can't get wood on it, and back into the Portland end. Biofor will whip in behind his own net. Chad Biofor shoots a pass out on the right side to Mitchell. Mitchell losing it to LeBrun. LeBrun checked off the puck, goes to the corner. Now LeBrun with it. Right of the net, a shot! Rebound comes back out to Kwiatkowski, a drive and a whistle. Kwiatkowski says, what do I have to do?
Why was the whistle blown?
Well, I don't know. Everybody's standing around looking at everybody else.
And that's what they're booing about.
Well, I think the one of the linesmen choked on that one.
Inadvertent whistle, possibly.
That's what it's going to be, I think.
Well, then where's the face-off going to be?
Well, let's wait and see. They're explaining it to the PA announcer. 4-3 the score. Portland leading the Tri-City Americans. Under 5 minutes to play in the period. Waiting for the announcement from Tom Lathan, the public address announcer here.
Well, it looks like they're going to put the face-off just outside the Portland Winterhawks blue line, off to the right-hand side. And that's where they're going to do it.
Well, let's see what we get for a call, as the phone's been a-ringing.
Coach John Oliver talking with the troops over there. Keeping everybody over for just a moment. The linesman had blown his whistle for play to start again. Okay, now everything's going to get going. Oh, well, there is a penalty. Devin Dirkson's going to be sitting down for a couple.
Well, I think we got a bench minor is what we got here.
The penalty is a bench minor on the Tri-Cities bench to be served by number 9, Devin Dirksen. The time of the penalty, 15:03.
And the Americans have another power play to kill off. Portland's 6th of the night. Shot in behind the Americans' net. Puck centered, but out for it is Delcourt. Now Jakes shoots it into the Portland Winterhawk box. And we'll have the face-off back out at the blue line. And the penalty came at 15. Thinking about 15:10. The penalty to the Americans to be served by Dirksen. And I'm not sure quite why, but 4-3, probably for excessive yapping at somebody, or could have been a bad shift change on the faceoff, won by the Americans. Now Delcourt with it in neutral ice. Delcourt, McNutt tried to poke it past Biofor. Puck's loose. Now the Winterhawks bring it up. Holland feeds the pass left. Black shot it right for Hamish Black, and Jamie couldn't get to it. Wheels back out to the point. Back out to Moore. Moore right to Hamish Black. He chipped at it, went behind the net. Back out to Dennis Holland, left side. Back up to Moore. Moore, one time. by Biafour, and it's blocked by Ferland into the glass. Back to Biafour. Biafour drives it again, and Ferland comes up big.
Oh, and Rob Krause just threw an elbow right in the face of Hamish Black. What a shot, and Rob wants a piece of it.
Well, they've been down there mix it up big time for a while.
Oh, was that an unbelievable shot?
And are we going to get a penalty or not? Maybe not.
I don't think anybody saw it. I was keeping an eye on him, and Rob, I think, had the presence that nobody was watching him and just leveled Hamish Black with an elbow to the face.
Minute 5 to go, and the bench
And Rob's going right over to him. Look at that. Little skate.
Rob Krause skates right by Hamish Black. Waited till the last second on the shift change for the Americans, and just sort of skated by and dared Jamie Hamish Black to do anything about it. Hamish Black out of Edmonton.
Little intimidation.
Face-off running, and Hamish Black. Hamish Black wins it for Portland. Biafour out to the blue line. A drive goes wide of the net, deflected out front. Comes down along the boards. Kutowicz and Fry. Fry shooting it back into the Portland end. Under a minute to go in the power play. Now Defoe comes out, plays it across the ice to Moore, right to left. Moore, headman pass to Holland. Holland feeds it right to Hamish Black, and Kutowicz there to tie him up. They try to center it. Shot back out by Duval. Good job by Murray Duval playing in front of Ferland. Out goes around behind the net. Comes out to the point left. Moore takes a big hit there from Rick Fry. Puck shot back into neutral ice. Half a minute to go on the penalty. Holland with it. Smothered by Fry. Fry 1-on-3. Rick Fry tries to beat the defenseman. Can't. Back is Holland. Holland has it knocked away by Rennie. Steve Rennie. Pass to Kutowicz. A little hot off of his stick. Back to Holland. 5 seconds remaining in the penalty. Puck shot back into the Tri-Cities end. Portland on a quick shift change.
Killed another penalty.
Penalty is over. The Americans have killed another one. 1 for 6 of the Winterhawks. Penalty is over. Out to the point. A drive by Middlestad. Blocked out front. Rebound. Comes right in front. Graham gets a shot at it. Blocked again by Ferland. Here come the Americans. Malone and Barnes. 2-on-2. Barnes and Malone. Barnes pulls up short. Leaves it behind for LeBrun. LeBrun slides it right across in the slot. In front of the net. Puck goes back out into neutral ice. Back for it is Krause. Rob Krause wheels around. The Americans down by 1. Krause feeds a pass to Cole. Shane Cole behind the net, and then back to Frank Malone. Malone's outlet pass stolen by Portland. Winterhawks try to center it. No, blocked away. Here comes LeBrun and Barnes. Barnes across the blue line. Barnes with it. Barnes plays it off the board. Collides with the...
We have offsides, I believe, is a call.
Yep, collides with the linesman, and the offside was the call.
Well, it looked like the Americans are starting to pick up a little momentum right now with 2:09 left in the second period. And they need to do something. It'd be nice to go in with a lead or a tie. Going into the dressing room at the second intermission.
Barnes and Brian Gorley will face it off. 2:09 to go in the second period. Portland leading by 1, 4-3. Faceoff comes out to Krause. Krause flipping it into the Portland zone. Winterhawks with it as Jorgensen. Tries to get it ahead now to Gray Eyes. He does, but it's poked away from Gorley in the corner. Shot in behind the net, and Spenrath is there for the Americans. Spenrath will take a hit from Thudium. Back into the neutral zone. Driven back by Jorgensen, but smothered there by Stu Barnes. Barnes in there to break up a shot by Gorley. Puck goes to the boards. Barnes along with Thudium. Big hit by Barnes and Shane Cole.
And
penalty coming up.
Oh, no.
And it will go against the Tri-City Americans as they flat leveled Brian Gorley.
Oh, boy, Shane Cole. That patented crunch into the boards. I mean,
Hooking is the call.
Yeah, and Spenrath looks like... Yeah.
Well, no, maybe not.
Which one is it?
There's a broken stick. Is Krause trying to hand it to the linesman? I don't see anybody headed for the penalty box as yet.
Huh.
Well, it's indicated that it's against Spenrath. Spenrath over on the bench. That was cute, but didn't work.
Yeah. A little decoy. Sit behind the bench.
18:27, the time of the penalty.
Hooking,
Hooking, the call against Spenrath. That's how he lost his stick, as he was engaged in hooking and ultimately had it pulled away from him. Face-off just to the left of Frank Furlan. McNutt against Holland.
And they're sending Nutter out again.
In comes Del Court against Holland. Holland wins the draw. Draws it back to Mitchell at the point. Mitchell beats it down left to Hamish Black. Hamish Black tied up along the boards. Gets back to Holland. Holland wheels in, has it knocked away. Now it's shot back out of play. Shot on goal. Defoe has to come out and play it for the Winterhawks. Defoe shoots an outlet pass to Terry Black. Black looking for the pass, finds Hamish Black. On the right side, Hamish Black slides in front of Furlan. Tried to chip it to the corner. Furlan there to knock it out of the way.
A penalty again.
And another penalty. Tripping.
Boy, Hamish Black just completely outskated Sherstenka on that, and Sherstenka was trying to stop him, and he cut him up underneath, and Dan's going to go sit down for a couple on that. Yeah, he got beat.
18:54 of the period, and that means for a minute 33, it'll be 5-on-3 for the Winterhawks. And that's not always real good. Jakes, Rennie, and Prowse, penalty killers for the Americans. For Portland, it's Graham at center with Hamish Black and Holland on the wings. Face-off drawn back out to Black. Terry Black at the blue line goes right now to Biafor. Biafor looks at a shot, won't take it, almost blocked by Rennie. Back out front now to Black. It's 5-on-3. Black goes left to Hamish Black. Back to Black. Hamish Black beats a pass across the slot to Biafor. Back out to Black. Left. Hamish Black takes a shot right of the net. Holland tried to chip it in. It wouldn't go. Rebound shot back out front, and it's blocked again.
And Holland just got the hat trick. Holland just got his hat trick.
It went around behind the net, and Holland right there at the right to slap it in past Furlan. 5-on-3. That is a tough way to go. Portland getting their second power play of the night.
Portland 5th goal scored by number 15, Dennis Holland, with the assist from number 12, Jamie Hamish Black, and number 11, Chad Biafor. The time of the goal, 19:23.
That gives Dennis Holland now 33 goals on the season. 3 goals here tonight for Dennis Holland.
And it takes care of the one penalty, the one to Spenrath, but it leaves the Americans still a man short, as Portland scored in a 5-on-3 situation. Face-off drawn back to the Portland Winterhawks. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell bringing it ahead as Barnes punched Graham right in the mouth. And the puck comes out along the boards. Graham tied up Barnes' stick. Pass, shot across the slot, and Barnes there to slap it back into neutral ice. LeBrun back for it. LeBrun racing back with Mitchell. LeBrun and Mitchell dig for the puck along the boards. LeBrun getting his foot on it, but it comes out to Biafor. 10 seconds to go. Biafor with it. Power play for Portland. 4 seconds. Biafor checked away by Barnes. Shot into neutral ice. Barnes can't get to it, and time runs out. At the end of the period, the score.
Fans, make sure you pick up a ticket for the
Portland 5 and the Tri-City Americans 3. We'll be back in 2 minutes on this KOTY Americans hockey broadcast.
It's 1st and 10. He's dropping back. Oh, what a hit. They came flying over the top. He's up. He found an opening. It looks like smooth sailing. Look at that move. A perfect spiral. He went deep. He's having trouble. No, he's got it. Look at him fly. Touchdown. It's all coming together. What a sight to see. The crowd loves it. No, the Discovery Channel. Another championship season.
Come into the world of Express Exchange.
Power play for the Winterhawks. They're 8th of the game. They have 2 for 8. The Americans will be working on their 5th if they ever get one. The penalty, a tripping penalty to Dan Sherstenka, that causing the problem there. So it'll be a Portland power play as we start the third period. It's Steve McNutt to take the draw. McNutt winning it, but the Winterhawks break up the play. They have it back into neutral ice. Puck shot back into the Portland end as Biafor wheels around behind his net. Chad Biafor bringing it out. Biafor and Holland. Biafor leaving it. almost losing it to Greg Delcourt. Now stolen away by the Americans. Here comes McNutt. A drive! Hits the pipe and goes out of play. What a shot by McNutt. And it hit the crossbar.
He cranked up from about 50 foot out, straight up in front of Defoe, and hit the top of the pipe, bounced off into the W section.
He had
souvenir.
He had Defoe's lunch too. He had Defoe beaten all the way.
All the way.
Face off just outside the Portland blue line. Winterhawks in red with the black and white numerals and trim. Americans in white with the gold and black. Delcourt losing the draw to Clouston. Or to Graham, rather, and it's shot into the Tri-Cities end. Clouston has not played tonight. And he's another one the Winterhawks really need. You can imagine they're 3 players down. Now the puck shot out to the blue line. Delcourt has his man tied up, and McNutt there on the puck. McNutt another drive, and it's blocked out front wide of the net. Puck goes into the corner. Kraus. 4 seconds remaining on the penalty. Winterhawks lose it in neutral ice. Jake's back for it. Jake's over to Delcourt. Now Sherstenka comes off. Barnes comes on. They get it to Barnes. Stu Barnes feeds a pass back now to Kraus. Kraus looking for somebody. Finds Delcourt. Ahead to LeBrun. Here comes LeBrun. LeBrun and Barnes 2-on-1. Barnes! And he can't get the stick down to it. Puck goes into the corner. Delcourt trying to dig it loose. Delcourt kicking at it. Now gets it out to Barnes. Stewie wheels around behind the net. Barnes with it. Overskated the puck, and a penalty coming up against the Winterhawks.
Looks like Roy Mitchell.
Slashing the goal. And the penalty will give the Tri-Cities their 5th power play. Penalty coming at 1:23 of the period. I like hearing Tom Lathan on the PA system. He does a good job.
1, 2, 3.
This is the 3rd period underway. Winterhawks lead by 2, but that's not many, the way the Americans scored last night. Face off to the left as you look on, the right-hand side of Byron Defoe. Barnes against Gorley. Barnes winning the draw, goes in behind the net as Malone chases in after it. Now it's shot up to the blue line. LeBrun wheels back for it for the Americans. Gets it over to Barnes. Barnes will wheel all the way around through his own zone. Here comes Stu. Stu Barnes across the blue line. Barnes upended, and Malone goes in behind the net to try to get the puck. Comes out to Spinrath out at the point. Portland chipping it ahead along the boards. Biofor gets it right, tried to get it to Gorley, and it's blocked by Malone. Here comes Frank Malone. Malone with it across the blue line, tries to split the defense, and he's taken down. Malone out to Barnes. Barnes with it in the corner. Back up front now to Jakes. Back to Barnes. Minute 14 in the power play. Barnes on the right side, nearly loses it. Back up front to Steve Jakes. Jakes along the blue line to LeBrun. LeBrun flips a pass down left now to Frank Malone. Malone to Barnes as Spinrath works in front of Defoe. Defoe chops Spinrath in the ankles real hard there. Out to LeBrun. LeBrun fans at a shot. And it's slapped back into the Tri-Cities end. Rebound comes out to Furlan. He'll leave it back for LeBrun. 48 seconds remaining in the power play for the Americans. Here comes LeBrun. LeBrun across the blue line. Brunner taking it in. LeBrun around behind the net trying to center it. He does to Barnes. Our Jakes, a shot by Jakes, blocked by Defoe. Stolen away by LeBrun. The Brewers! LeBrun! LeBrun unassisted.
And he ranked it.
At 2:53.
John LeBrun takes the puck up about 35 feet out in front of Defoe, takes a blistering slap shot, catches him glove high into the net. 5-4 Portland. And John LeBrun, oh, I tell you what, that was a blistering shot.
Americans' second power play goal tonight. They're 2 for 5 on power plays. LeBrun unassisted on the steal.
Scored by number 18, Sean LeBrun. LeBrun unassisted at 2:53.
Trevor Sand with McNutt and Delcourt. They dig for the puck. Puck's loose. Sen has it. Here comes Trevor Sen. Sen breaks another one, and it goes wide of the net. Rebound comes right out in the slot. McNutt rebound. Shoots it back behind the net. Portland with it. They try to get it out of the zone. Out to the point right. Duval shoots it back in behind the net. Americans with it. Back behind the net comes McNutt. McNutt with it. Big scramble. Back out front to Cutter. Ooh, he lost it across the blue line. Cutter shoots it back into the Portland zone. Back behind the Winterhawks net. 5-4. Portland with a 1-goal lead. Now the Winterhawks try to work their breakout. They get it across in front of the net. It goes to Middlestat. Middlestat shooting a pass ahead to Meiden. Meiden whipping it into the Tri-Cities end with the Americans. Duval back for it. Duval sliding it back into neutral ice. Right side they go now to Jorgensen. Jorgensen whips it into McNutt. Puts Jorgensen on his backside.
That was a great
behind
check.
the net. Kotowitz. Cutter shoots it out to Duval. Duval cross ice beautifully to Trevor Sen. Sen will get it across by a four taking Sen down. Puck shot back into neutral ice. You hear the fans screaming there as Barnes comes out on Holland. Barnes misses an elbow check. Holland takes it across the blue line. Poke checked away by Krause. Here comes Barnes. Barnes, 3-on-2. Barnes across the blue line. Leaves it for Delcourt. Krause, a drive, score! Krause! Krause getting his first goal of the season.
Oh, and is he a happy camper? Look at him jumping up and down.
Well, it's been a long, dry spell.
It sure has. A great slap shot from the right side.
He just about undressed Defoe.
Oh,
they're going to have to go give Defoe parts of his uniform back.
Oh, Rob. Oh, look at him.
Trouble is, his teammates have done more damage to him in a celebration than happened in the fight earlier with Jorgensen.
We're all tied up, 5-5.
Assists on the goal, and we're tied at 5. Barnes losing the draw. Here come the Winterhawks across the blue line. Checked away by Krause as the puck slides in front of the net. We have a whistle.
I believe we have an offside penalty.
I believe so. Puck will come right outside the blue line for the face-off.
And there's new life has been breathed into the Americans.
Indeed. Little CPR from Dr. Defense Rob Krause.
And we have the masked man over there on the aisle leading the wave, and there he goes.
Yeah, he sure did. Over in Section Y, and he got her started.
The unknown goalie.
Face-off won by the Americans. Back to Krause. We're tied at 2. 15:32 to play. Krause whipping it into the Portland zone. Skating back for it is LeBrun, but Defoe comes out, plays it. Now Cole keeping it in play along the boards. Now Gorley steps in, steals the puck, and Krause wheels back for it as it goes into the Tri-City zone. Krause wiping out, shoots it ahead. Shot by Gorley, blocked by the Americans. Here comes Barnes. Barnes wheeling around, taking a big hit there by Thudium, beats Thudium. Barnes with Thudium, beats him, starts into the corner. Barnes around behind the net, centers for Rennie. Nobody home, and the Portland Winterhawks bring it back. Here comes Mitchell. Mitchell 2-on-3. Mitchell getting it by Shane Cole, but it goes all the way to the goal. Ray Eyes, a shot, blocked up front. Perlin blocked it again around behind the net, and Cole whips it around. They try to center it again. Do the Winterhawks. Loose puck right in the net. Now it's shot down, and it hits the scoreboard. Boy, did that get intense.
That puck went airborne and hit the scoreboard that is hanging over the rink at about 25 feet above the ice.
Actually, the scoreboard hangs a bit low in this arena, but not very much. Americans signed an indicator, specially designing the scoreboard to fit the dimensions of this building. And what a beautiful scoreboard it is.
And the 7th player has gotten involved, and that is the fans.
Yep, they sure are. Boy, the masked goalie had them going over there.
Yeah.
Face-off, top of the circle, to the left-hand side of Ferlin. You're right as you look on from center ice. It is Malone taking the face-off against Graham. Face-off won by the Americans. Dump back into the Portland end. Winterhawks wheel back for it. Shot along the boards. Comes out to Fleetwood. Fleetwood gets it left now to Meiden. Meiden checked off of it at the blue line.
And now they're checking.
The Americans steal it back. Boy, are they ever. Comes out to Jakes. 3-on-2. Jakes. Scherstenka loses it. But here's Rick Fry wheeling in with it and a whistle. Offside for the Americans. That rush just a little too good. And was that a strange rush as it had Scherstenka, Jakes, and Rick Fry.
I know it.
Two defensemen who don't exactly always carry the puck up and down the ice.
It looked pretty good. Jakes just got a little bit fast and lost the puck back at the blue line.
Wait a minute. Jakes got a little fast.
Got a little fast. Thanks. You know, my English there.
Five.
Not doing too good.
You're speaking. Clearly, I'm having trouble. 5-5 the score. Tri-City Americans, the Portland Winterhawks. The Americans have scored the last 2 goals. Here come the Winterhawks. They win the draw. Dump it into the Tri-Cities end. Jakes back for it. Up ends Hamish Black. Jakes with it. Pokes it out. Stolen by Holland. Holland gets it in the slot to Hamish Black. Poked away by Scherstenka. Terry Black back out to the blue line. Winterhawks shovel it in. A backhander by Middlestat. Knocked away. Back into neutral ice. Middlestat back for it. Shoots a pass right to Mitchell. McNutt takes a poke at Mitchell. Holland whipping it along the boards. Holland all the way back now to Middlestat. Right back for Holland. It's there for Mitchell across the blue line, but Scherstenka has it for the Americans. Plays it off the boards to Rennie ahead to Delcourt. Here come the Americans. Delcourt being hit from behind by Holland. Taken down by Holland big time, but McNutt is there. Puck comes loose into neutral ice. Hamish Black with it. McNutt will take him out of the play, and it goes in behind the net. Furlan leaving it behind for Duval. Murray Duval, a second-round pick of the New York Rangers. Wheels down to the blue line, dumps it into the Portland zone. Now Delcourt chasing it after it with Gorley. They get it ahead to Rennie. Portland taking it off of Rennie's stick. Jorgensen back into neutral ice. Here come the Winterhawks. Gorley with it across the blue line. Gorley taken out of the play by Kotowitz. What a great check on Brian Gorley. Now LeBrun takes the puck off the boards. Here comes LeBrun. Overskates the puck. Has to have a little help. Slides in. Good hip check on Kwiatkowski. That time by Biofor. Puck goes down into the Tri-Cities end, and offsides is Calvin Tudium. Oh, this is getting intense.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Let me say that backwards. Wow.
12:47 to play in the hockey game. The Americans against the Portland Winterhawks as Furlan exchanging high fives.
And the Furlan Magician crowd, look at them with their pointed hats down in the corner of the E section down there. They have.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them down there with shiny pointed hats for the Magician, Frank Furlan. And now Sean LeBrun having a word with the referee, Dean Forbes. LeBrun wearing the assistant captain's A. You wear a letter, you got a right to talk to the referee, otherwise you don't. Barnes facing off with Meiden. Or at least, let's put it this way, you wear a letter, he's got to listen. You can talk. Face-off comes out to Mitchell for the Winterhawks. Mitchell to Moore. Moore dumps it into the Tri-Cities end, and Krause there behind the net. Krause flips it out along the boards for LeBrun. LeBrun evades a hit from Fleetwood. They bring it out along the boards. LeBrun and Barnes. Here comes Barnes. Barnes and LeBrun left side. LeBrun 3-on-2 to Barnes right in the net. Just couldn't quite get it. Centered once again. Puck's loose. Kwiatkowski taking a whack at it. Barnes getting it back. Barnes has it knocked away from him off his stick. Back out to the point. Cole a drive. Blocked out front. LeBrun getting it. Back in behind the net. It comes out to Mitchell. Mitchell shooting it ahead. Krause keeping it in play through the neutral zone. Back to Shane Cole. Cole with the puck. Cole feeds it over to LeBrun. LeBrun ahead to Barnes. Back into the Portland zone. Winterhawks get it up, stolen there by Rick Fry, but he loses it once again to Holland. Holland to Graham. Graham across the blue line. Goes into the corner. Krause and Holland wheel in there after it. Puck's loose behind the net. Fry gets it ahead to LeBrun. Here come the Americans. LeBrun airs it into the Portland zone, and Barnes will chase it. Barnes racing back there to take on Middlestat. Barnes keeps the puck. Barnes with it. Here's the Barnes-arama out to the left corner. Barnes in to Fry. Fry tried to chip it in. It wouldn't go. Comes out along the boards to Hamish Black. Americans keeping it in play still. Aired into the corner left. Left to the goal. Another big hit. Barnes as he goes in there and ties up with Middlestat. Barnes and Middlestat.
Stu Barnes.
As John Olver said, when Barnes and LeBrun are hitting, they're playing well.
Stu Barnes did a center pass into Rick Fry. Rick Fry hits it, pulls the trigger, but doesn't quite get the net. And I'll tell you, Stu Barnes and his stick handling magic, the way he does that, pulls and pushes that puck better than anybody I've seen come in here so far.
Yeah, you'd think it was glued to his stick. Malone to face off against Gorley. The line is Malone, Spenrath, and Fry now with Sherstenka and Jakes. We're tied at 5. Face off. Won by the Winterhawks. Mitchell back behind his own net. Starts to bring it out. Gets it out as far as Thudium. Losing it at the blue line to the Americans. Spenrath shooting it ahead, but it's blocked and knocked down by Moore. Americans steal it right back to Spenrath. Spenrath 2-on-1 to Fry. A shot. Blocked. Score! They score!
Craig Spenrath with the rebound from Fry. Right in between it. Spenrath goes down and gives Frank Merlin the big bear hug.
Spenrath. Greg Spenrath scoring his 8th goal of the season. And the Americans take a 6-5 lead.
Oh, have they come back? They were down 3-0 at one point, and now lead 6-5.
My, oh my. We'll get the announcement now from Tom Lathan. Murray Duval will be our guest.
Tri-City Americans, 6th goal! Scored by number 27, Greg Spenrath. The assist from number 8, Rick Fry, and number 16, Frank Malone.
Face-off won by the Americans back into the Portland end. As Rennie digging for it along the boards with Holland. Rennie and Holland. Puck comes loose. Americans with it. A shot by McNutt. Rebound right out in front of the net to Sherstenka. Dan Sherstenka takes it off to the right side. Plays it off the boards, trying to get it from Hamish Black. Loose puck in the slot. Delcourt wheels along the blue line. Delcourt got it to McNutt. Shot in wide of the net to the right. McNutt goes in after it. McNutt with it. Tried to get it to Rennie. Nutter with it. Falls down on top of it as he's pounded by Biafor. Now McNutt and Holland dig for the puck, and they'll stop the play there.
Frank Malone with that assist right there has now got an assist in every home game he's played in for the Americans. He's got a point in every home game. The only game that he has not got a point in was the game up in Spokane.
Fry getting his 5th assist of the season for 6 points. And Frank Malone also getting the assist.
That's his 4th assist.
6-5, the Americans lead, and that's the first time the Americans have led in this game.
That's very true.
Spenrath, the go-ahead goal.
Of tonight's 50-50 education fund drawing.
And the face-off will come right in front of the Portland goalie, Byron Defoe. Defoe has been beaten on a couple of long shots, a couple of long-range drives, and he's also been beaten in close. And the thing we've seen the Americans do is crash in front of that net.
And I'll tell you, you know where you mentioned the point about those shots being taken out front and beaten Defoe. You know why? The interference that the Americans were running in front of Defoe caused the screen.
Now Spenrath standing up on the bench saying, hey, let's get her going here, folks. Oh, it's Krause, rather. Up on the bench, waving that towel, trying to get him cranked up again. 6-5, the Americans lead. Barnes with LeBlin and Kwiatkowski. Face-off won by the Americans to Kwiatkowski's upended. Goes to the boards on the left side. Kutowicz keeping it in play. Goes along the dashboard. Falls down beside the Portland net. Now Duval racing in there. Puck shot out to the blue line. A big drive. Blocked up front, and the puck put out or caught by Defoe as Kwiatkowski and Mitchell go eyeball to eyeball. Duval, a big drive from the point. Thought he might have something cooking there.
Yeah, I think Mitchell asked Kiwi if he wanted to dance or something. I don't think Kiwi's into that.
I don't think Mitchell's on Kwiatkowski's dance card tonight. 6-5 the score. Kwiatkowski and LeBrun are the wings for Barnes. Duval and Kutowicz at the points. Face off to the left of Defoe. Won by the Americans. A drive! Blocked by Defoe. Big shot by LeBrun off the wing. Kwiatkowski with it. Along the boards they dig for it. Trying to keep it in play. LeBrun ties up his man, but loses the puck, and it goes back into the neutral ice area. Shot ahead by the Americans, but Mitchell there for Portland. Mitchell throws it into the Tri-Cities end. Furlan will leave it behind the net for Duval. Duval gets sandwiched for the Winterhawks. Shot right out in front. Back to the point. Mitchell a drive, and Furlan puts it into the corner.
Great leg save.
And here come those pointy hats again, and another drive.
And a score.
And Portland scores from the corner.
Chad Biafor.
Biafor took it right off the boards, turned around and blew it right by Furlan.
Looked like
And
Frank,
we're tied at 6.
looked like Frank handcuffed himself there a little bit. Oh, that's too bad, but
10:37 of the period.
plenty of time left.
And we're tied at 6. Well, one thing about it, 2 weeks ago, the Americans are getting beat 6-2. And now we're in a tie game 6-6. Mitchell and Biafor getting assists. The goal goes to Scott Meiden as the puck is tied up by Furlan and off on the faceoff. Now the faceoff will come to Furlan's right hand. Down in the magic corner. It'll be Malone to face off against Gorley. Malone with Fry and Spenrath. Puck is down. It draws right out in the point. Here comes Krause. Krause gets it for the Americans. Krause airs it into the Portland zone. Rebound comes right out in front of the net. And Defoe slaps it away. Now Spenrath whipping it around into the corner left to right. Couple of big hits there as they go in after the puck. Spenrath without the point. Malone! A drive to the left side. Comes out to Krause. Krause at the point, keeping it in play. Fry races in after it. Now Portland with it around behind the net. Biafor shooting a pass ahead now to Gray Eyes. Mark Gray Eyes with a puck. Gray Eyes double team, gets it across the blue line, and back for it is Krause. Krause wheels ahead in his own zone. Shoots a pass off the boards to Spenrath. Spenner across the blue line. Gets it to Malone. Malone back to Spenrath, but a shot back into neutral ice. 8:29 to go. The Americans in kind of an ugly shift change there. Tied at 6. Tri-Cities in Portland. Puck shot ahead now to Delcourt. Delcourt with McNutt and Rene. Dilly a shot. Rebound right out in front. Poked at by McNutt. He's poked it again. Still the puck's loose as Rene chases it off to the boards. Comes out to the left side. Now the puck shot out to the point. Krause, a drive from the point. Goes wide of the net. Pulled out of there by Middlestat. His shot taken in by Rene. Rene dumping it into the Portland end. Defoe behind his net. He'll leave it there for Mitchell. On his Sherstenka. Steps right in. Steals the puck, and it's offside. Caught McNutt and Delcourt back in the zone. As Sherstenka stepped right into the play.
Right there. Dan just came off the bench replacing Rob Krause and skated right over here to the left side, right side blue line if you're looking at it from Defoe's angle. 5,608 people here tonight. That is a great attendance.
And the faceoff comes just outside the Portland blue line. It will be Barnes with LeBrun and Trevor Sen. Faceoff won by the Americans. Back to Sherstenka. He whips it into the Portland zone. Winterhawks back for it. Behind the net, and we have a whistle. Offside. And that will bring the faceoff outside the blue line. We are tied at 6. Tri-Cities and the Portland Winterhawks.
And Rob Krause over there doing his cheerleading again. Standing up on the bench. Getting the crowd excited.
Barnes against Meiden. Next action for the Americans Friday night next against the Medicine Hat Tigers. Barnes and Meiden to face off. Just outside the Portland blue line. Face-off won by the Americans. Barnes back to Jakes. Jakes shoots it into the Portland zone. Barnes chases it into the right corner. Barnes gets around Biafor. Now the puck comes out to LeBrun. Barnes and LeBrun dig for it behind the net. Puck shot out along the boards. Ooh, kept in play beautifully by Jakes. Back behind the net it goes. They try to whip it loose. Comes out to Barnes. Barnes to LeBrun. LeBrun has it taken off his stick for the Winterhawks. Now Barnes in after it. Kicks it around to LeBrun. LeBron trying to get it out to Trevor Sen. Comes out to the point to Jakes. Jakes throws it into the slot, and it's slapped away by Defoe. Now Sen puts a big hit on Biafor in the corner. Puck comes out again. Jakes will get Wood on it. Keeping it in. Nope. Gets loose into the Portland zone. Here comes Fleetwood. One-on-one. Fleetwood a drive wide of the net. Goes all the way around into the corner. Good defense work by Schustenka that time. Now the Americans bring it up. 3-on-3 as Barnes is stripped of the puck. Now it's shot into the Americans' end. Duval on a shift change, wheels back for it. Shoots it back into neutral ice to Mitchell. Mitchell for Portland. He shoots it back in. Duval is there to break up the play for the Americans. Shot back into neutral ice, and we're going to have icing, I think, as Portland will race back for it. No, it ran out of gas before it got to the goal line. Shot back along the board. Spenrath putting on a big hit. Puck taken off his stick there by Malone, or by McNutt. Back in behind the net, out to Kutowicz. Kutowicz keeping it in play to Fry. Centered for Malone. Malone couldn't handle it. Stripped by Spenrath, a drive behind the net. Just went wide as it was blocked by Defoe. Spenrath with it, trying to get it off the stick of Mitchell now. To Kutowicz. Kutowicz is slashed a couple of times, gets it underneath the Spenrath. Spenrath digging at it along with Fry. Comes out to the point. Duval keeping it in play, but there is Dennis Holland. Holland shovels it ahead to Black. Black left. Hamish Black, a drive and a save by Ferland, and the Magician flops down on top of the puck.
Kirk, you notice anything different about the Americans this period than the last period?
Yeah, but other than the fact that they've been hitting, you mean?
That's it right there. The Americans are doing what we talked about last period that they weren't doing, and that's they are now starting the play. They are now initiating all the contact, digging at the pucks when they're in the corners, and beginning the play.
Well, the Winterhawks got beat last night by Kamloops in the third period. Face off to the right of Ferland. I think I may have blown a tube here. Face off to the right of Ferland. It'll be Delcourt to take the face off. And there goes the wave as the masked goalie goes in to start it once again. Oh, he comes down out of out of the top row. That's where he comes from. Americans bring it out. Shane Cole drives it hard over the net. Comes to Delcourt off the glass. Delcourt back to McNutt. To Krause, a drive in the slot. Rebound. Rennie digging for it. Rennie can't quite get to it. Out across the blue line, but it's kept in play by Cole. Portland with it. Biafor. Biafor. Headman pass intended for Gray Eyes. Can't handle it. Delcourt there to break up the play. Now Gray Eyes drives it in front of Ferland. Ferland will leave it for Krause. Rob Krause out to McNutt. Here come the Americans. McNutt to Rennie. Rennie evades his man, gets it into the Portland zone. Back for it is McNutt. McNutt takes it in, shoots. Rebound comes into the corner off of Defoe. Shot back into the neutral ice area. Americans back with it. Jakes whips it left to Krause. Rob Krause dumps it into the Portland zone. Back into the corner, and we're going to have an icing call as Krause was back of the red line when he shot it in.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it is that.
And then on this homestand, next Friday night, the Medicine Hat Tigers of the Eastern Division come in and invade the Coliseum.
Then the last game of the before Christmas break, the Victoria Cougars in town on Saturday night the 17th. Then, of course, that skating party on Sunday, co-sponsored by the Coliseum and by KOTY. You bring a food item or bring $5 or bring a new toy, and that'll get you admission to the ice. A 2-hour skating party Sunday afternoon. There will be rental skates available.
You're going to be here, aren't you, Kurt?
Yep, I'm going to be here to watch. Ferland doing a little work on his skates or on his pads. Now we're ready to go.
And the team over there.
The Americans over in the bench trying to get the crowd cranked up. There they are as Krause stands up on the bench and waves that glove around. Come on, folks, let's make some noise. Face off to the left of Ferland. It'll be LeBrun against number 27, Graham. Now LeBrun chased out, and in comes Barnes. Stu Barnes wins the face-off. Goes to Jakes behind the net. Jakes around behind the net working on Graham. Gets a pass ahead to Kwiatkowski. Play broken up. Meiden with it. Meiden a drive. Round behind the net. Comes out to the point to Mitchell. Mitchell chipping it down along the boards for Graham. Centered, but it's stolen there by the Americans. Broken up. Here comes Kwiatkowski. 2-on-2. Kiwi and LeBrun with Barnes the trailer. Kwiatkowski behind the net. Centers for LeBrun. A shot. Blocked by Defoe. Scherstenka drive wide of the net. Centered again. Barnes! A drive, and Defoe blocks it again. Tried to wrap it around. Taken out of there by Portland. Shot back into neutral ice. Scherstenka wheels back for it. Boy, the Americans are getting their chances.
Yeah, they are.
Shot ahead to LeBrun. LeBrun behind the back, and he loses it to Mitchell. Mitchell flipping it into the Tri-Cities end. Jake's back for it. Jake's losing the puck to Hamish Black. Puck goes high in the air. Tied up along the boards. Now shot back into neutral ice for Barnes. Barnes losing it once again to the Winterhawks. Back to LeBrun. Back in the corner, right of the Americans' net. Now LeBrun flips it into neutral ice. Americans on a shift change. Moore coming out, and offsides called against Portland.
Well, now I can sit back in my chair. I've been on the edge of my chair this entire period, Kirk.
Yeah, you're not the only one. Wowie.
I think 5,600 other fans are doing the same thing.
3:28 to play in the hockey game. 6-6 tie. Tri-Cities and Portland. Face-off will come back to neutral ice. Almost to center ice. Furlan and Defoe, the goalies tonight. It'll be Rennie facing off against Holland. Face-off won by the Rune Dog. Rennie back to Murray Duval. Duval backs up into his own zone. Goes around behind the net. Holland takes a run at him and then backs away. Now Duval around behind the net. Shoots a pass out to McNutt. They get it ahead to Delcourt. Delcourt to Rennie. Up to the blue line. Chased into the Portland zone. Rennie trying to steal it there from Hamish Black. Now shot ahead to Holland. There goes Holland in alone. Holland fans on the shot as he's taken out by Kutowitz. Ooh, Cutter really took Holland hard into the boards.
And still got him there.
He's tied up there. Puck shot into neutral ice. Racing back for it for Portland is Biafor. It'll run out of gas before it gets to the goal line. American shift change. Shot ahead now to Terry Black by Biafor. In behind the net. Furlan leaving it for Duval. Duval getting it out to Kutowitz. Kelly Kutowitz shoots a pass intended for McNutt. Went behind, or Malone went behind him. Icing will be the call when Portland touches it.
Just
and
barely.
it'll come back to the Tri-Cities hand.
Spenrath right down there too.
We're tied at 6. 2:27 to go here at the Tri-Cities Coliseum. I'm Kirk Williamson along with Tony Ott. Face off to the right of Furlan the Magician. And the Americans on the bench trying to get the crowd turned on again. On the face-off will be Rennie, Fry, and Spenrath, along with Cole and Krause. Rennie to take the draw. Rennie winning the draw. Puck comes for Portland out to the blue line. Shot down the slot. Rejected by the Americans. Krause slapping it into neutral ice. Spenrath all over it. 2-on-2. But Portland with the puck is Meiden. Wheels around behind his net. Meiden shoots it ahead. Has it knocked away at the blue line. Rennie and Fry. Here goes Fry. A drive.
Hits the post.
Great save. Or hit the post, rather. And it comes out to neutral ice. Cole shooting it back into the Portland zone. Rennie wheeling back for it. Back behind the net is Mitchell. Rennie all over Mitchell, but Rennie's going to need some help here as Fry goes racing in, and they'll have a face-off to the left of Byron Defoe.
Oh, are the Americans showing what they're made of right now? They have exactly done what this period they did all of last night.
Well, they had plenty of opportunities to fold in this game, Tony, and they haven't done it.
That's character. That shows a lot of character.
Exactly. Face off to the left of Byron Defoe. Murray Duval will be our guest in the penalty box show. It'll be Barnes with Malone and LeBrun. Scherstenka and Jakes the D-man. Barnes against Graham. Face-off won by Barnes. Digs it into the corner. Back for it, though, is Moore. Moore whipping it around the boards. Big hit there by Malone. Malone has the puck. Shoots it along the dashboard in behind the Portland net. LeBrun in after it. They chase it into the corner with Malone. Goes in ahead of Graham. Now Graham takes it off his stick. Shoots an outlet pass quickly to Fleetwood. Here comes Fleetwood. Gets around Scherstenka. Pulls up. Tries to get a shot in the slot. Centered. A shot. and it's blocked by Furlan the Magician again. How he did it, I don't know. Barnes across the blue line has it slapped away by Morris. Malone's wiped out. Barnes goes into the corner, takes it away from Moore. Barnes knocked down. Wheeling in there quickly is Scott Meiden. Meiden uses the referee for interference. Gets it left to Fleetwood. Fleetwood shooting it into the Tri-City zone. It'll be touched behind the net. We'll have a two-line pass, I think.
I believe that's the Calker.
As Graham got in there quickly to break up the play to keep it from being icing. 1:07 to go. And I believe the Americans are taking a timeout here.
Coach John Oliver, a very excited man. Before the game, he was really excited about the way that the team played last night, very confident, and felt very strongly that his club tonight could beat the Portland Winterhawks. And we're tied up. I have a real good feeling about this game.
What a struggle. 6-6 the score. Portland breaking on top. They led 3-2. The Americans have dug their way back into it. They took a 6-5 lead on the goal by Spenrath. Then Meiden comes back to tie it for Portland. 1:02 to go. Americans with the puck. They lose the draw, but steal it back. McNutt gets it ahead of Krause along the boards to Spenrath. Spenrath loses it, but Delcourt's there. Delcourt to Spenrath, now knocked away by Portland. Hamish Black, Jamie Hamish Black fires it into the Tri-City zone. Furlan lays it behind the net for Krause. 43 seconds to play. Out to the blue line, knocked back into neutralized by Delcourt. Shot back in again behind the Tri-Cities net. Krause with it behind the net. Krause, outlet pass goes to Duval. Duval, headman pass for Delcourt. Delly can't quite get to it. Portland's back on it, but they fan. Now Delcourt, 3-on-2 to Spenrath in the slot, a shot. Blocked inside by Defoe one more time. McNutt's shot didn't have a lot on it.
But Hamish Black grabbed that and hit it back towards Defoe in the crease. And Hamish Black just about gave the go-ahead goal for the Americans, who plays for Portland Winterhawks.
20 seconds to go.
He'd have really been liked on the bus ride home, huh?
Oh, yeah, you'd have to ride underneath the bus. Face-off coming to the left of Byron Defoe. Well, do they do the move? I would. Kemp Spenrath to the left of the face-off circle.
Yep.
Let Barnes take the draw, but instead of trying to draw it back, push it ahead. Now, does this remind you, does me, of the first game between these two clubs? A 4-4 tie, 45 seconds remaining. Tri-Cities gives up an icing call, and Portland wins the draw not once, not twice, but 3 times. And the third time, a big slap shot from the point goes in. Oh, my. 6-6 tie, the situation here. 20 seconds to go. LeBrun to take the draw against Graham. Now Graham being chased out. In comes Meiden for Portland. Now LeBrun getting chased, and Barnes comes in. You hear the fans hollering, Stu, Stu. Meiden and Barnes the face-off. Left of the goal. And the crowd starting to make some noise. Face-off won by Barnes. Goes into the corner, but Moore is there. Shoots it out along the boards. Here come the American center to Barnes. Loose puck right of the net. Barnes chases in after it. Comes out along the boards. Racing in is Kwiatkowski. Now Krause shoots it into the corner. 6 seconds. 5 as the Winterhawks have their men tied up. Centered out to Graham. Graham for Portland, and time will end. And guess what?
I think it's called overtime.
We're working overtime. We'll be back in 2 minutes on this KOTY Americans hockey broadcast. Comes down out of the top row, getting ready to start the wave.
Oh boy!
To get things going here. He's got their attention down in section Y. Ready? He says 1, 2, 3, and he starts it. There it goes.
Oh, I love it.
We're tied at 6 here at Tri-Cities Coliseum, and the wave goes all the way around. Kirk Williamson along with Tony Hunt. Tony shots on goal quick, and Portland's record in overtime.
Okay, we've got for Tri-Cities, there was 17 shots in the third period for a 3-period total of 44 shots. Portland had 7 shots on the net for a 3-period total of 30. 44 to 30 were your end of regulation shots on goal. And in overtime, the Tri-City Americans are 2-0-1. They've won all their overtimes. And the Portland Winterhawks are 2-4-1. This makes Portland's 8th overtime game this year. That's got to give you a couple gray hairs.
One thing about it, the fans are sure getting their money's worth.
That's for sure.
Krause and Ferland exchanging high fives down at the goal. It's Rennie with McNutt and Delcourt. 10 minutes of sudden death overtime. Americans win the draw. Goes to Krause. Krause flipping it in on goal. Dave Foe will stop it. Leave it behind the net for Moore. Moore almost losing the puck. Getting it out along the boards now to Bayafour. Bayafour to Terry Black. Black goes left. Back to Moore. Black. He gets it on the left to Hamish Black across the blue line. Checked off the puck by Shane Cole. Around behind the net. Shot up on the dashboard. Comes out to Bayafour. Bayafour losing it to McNutt. Steve McNutt. Here come the Americans. McNutt dumping it into the Portland zone, but the linesman there to get in the middle of the play. Now Rennie puts a big hit on Moore. Rennie keeping the puck in play. Rennie dumping it into the corner. Delcourt lining up Bayafour. What a hit on Bayafour. Comes out along the boards left of the net. Holland shoots a pass ahead to Black. Black to Hamish Black. Hamish Black has his pass smothered by Krause. Krause getting it to Delcourt to LeBron. LeBron with it for the Americans. Shoots a pass to Delcourt, and Delly can't quite get to it. Back behind the net goes Mitchell. Shooting it along the boards. Left behind at the blue line. Barnes there to keep it in play. Barnes shooting it into the corner. Delcourt races in after it. Greg Delcourt losing it to Middlestat. Comes out into the corner. Stu Barnes with it. Barnes head of the slot. Losing it there in a sweep check to Fleetwood. Fleetwood bringing it down for the Winterhawks. Fleetwood behind the back pass to Jorgensen. Whip back in, and it's offsides. The Winterhawks offside, or gloved ahead rather.
Can't
Puck.
use your glove.
Nope. We're tied at 6 in overtime. Minute and a half played. Barnes and Maiden on the face-off. Barnes with Fry and LeBrun now. The defenseman Scherstenka and Jakes. Face-off's down. Won by Barnes. Back to Scherstenka. Danny Scherstenka wheels it out for LeBrun off the boards, but it's shot back in by the Winterhawks right in front of the net. Ferland has to come out and cover it up. Wow. Now he'll play it out. Ooh, that was dangerous. Right in behind the net. Portland with it. They chip it high in the air. Comes around to Graham. Whips it around behind the net. The Americans chase it left to right. Comes out to the point. A shot smothered. It dribbles into the slot. Shot ahead for Barnes. Barnes can't get to it, and Portland back. Mitchell whips it off the boards. Back for it is LeBrun to take a whack at it as Maiden tries to bring it ahead for Portland. Maiden getting it ahead to Fleetwood. Fleetwood a drive wide of the net. Stick save by Ferland as he knocked it away. Now it's aired into neutral ice. Barnes going after it. Back for it is Fry as Barnes, Fry, and Maiden dig for it. Now we have a whistle as the puck is frozen there.
We have one of the fans pounding on the other side of the glass there, trying to get something started.
Yeah, he's liable to get something started.
Oh, look at him. He's sitting there. Get him a stick. Get him
Hammered on the glass, and Calvin Thudium standing right in front of him.
I think Coach John Albert wants to recruit this guy. Look at this. Yelling through the crack now.
I think he's tougher when he's behind the glass. Malone with Spenrath and Dirksen now for the Americans. Face-off won by Tri-Cities. Duval whipping it in behind the Portland net. Defoe caught, almost caught out of position. Pass shot ahead to Thudium. Here comes Thudium. Portland 3-on-2. Thudium dumping it into the corner. Ferland plays it out to Duval. Duval and Thudium fall on it. Now it comes to Spenrath. Spenrath with it. Takes a big hit there. Spenner trying to get out along the boards. Puck's loose. Spenrath goes down. Shot into neutral ice. Bayafour whipping it into the Tri-City zone. Ferland behind the net leaves it for Kotowitz. Kotowitz ahead now to Spenrath. Spenrath shooting it into the Portland zone. On goal. Left by Defoe. To Holland, stolen by Spenrath. Spencer goes into the corner with it, tried to center it for Malone, but Malone was taken out of the play by Jorgensen. Here comes Black. Black to Hamish Black, a drive! Furlan kicks it away. And here comes Dirksen. Dirksen to Malone. Malone beats his man. Malone shoots! Wide in that rebound. Dirksen, he whacked at it, almost got it in. Rebound comes out to Terry Black. Black shoots it ahead to Hamish Black. Into the corner. Around behind the net. Furlan will leave it there for Krause. Rob Krause, 6:23 to go in overtime. Krause shoots it out to the point. McNutt there to play it into the neutral zone. Portland shoots it back into the Tri-Cities end. Portland leaves it for Krause again. Racing back there for Portland now is Fleetwood. Comes out to the point. Rennie kicks it into neutral ice. Now the Americans with it. Delcourt to McNutt. McNutt will play it off the boards. Portland taking a whack at it. They get it ahead into the slot. Shot! And Furlan blocks another one. Into the corner it goes. Here come the Americans. Shane Cole. Headman pass for Delcourt. Slap back by Portland. Meiden with it. Meiden a drive, and Furlan blocks another one. Puck goes along the boards. The Americans with it as Rennie shoots it across the neutral zone, right to left. Portland wheels back for Jorgensen. Jorgensen, his shot, shot down by Cole. Now flipped back into neutral ice. By a 4, upended by Delcourt. Stolen away from Delcourt by Gray Eyes. Dumped into the Tri-Cities end. Furlan leaves it there for Cole. Cole behind him to Gray Eyes, right in front. Another shot! Blocked out front of Furlan. They whip it in behind the net. Now Shane Cole shooting it all the way out to neutral ice, and the linesman in the way. They get it ahead to Barnes and a whistle.
Offsides.
Well, if that linesman hadn't been there, but then again, it might have been icing if the linesman hadn't been there.
They're going to confer it, and they're pointing out to a place to do the face-off, and they've figured one out.
Face-off just outside the Tri-City blue line. It is overtime, 6-6 tie. Tri-Cities and the Portland Winterhawks. Boy, would the Americans like to come out of here with a win.
Oh, they certainly would. Their goal production has really increased the last 2 games. They have now scored 13 goals in 2 games.
It used to take 2 weeks to do that.
That's good. Things are starting to gel.
Face-off, Barnes and Thudium. Puck is down. Thudium wins it. Goes to Middlestedt. Shoots it off the boards. Stolen away by Scherstenka. Gets it ahead to Fry. Fry tried to headman it to Kwiatkowski. Portland stealing the puck. Taken out of there by Jakes. Here comes Jakes. Jakes across the blue line. Hammers it into the Portland zone. Back for it is Mitchell. Mitchell takes a hit from Kwiatkowski. Winterhawks. Fry keeping it in play, but now losing it. Portland with it to Terry Black. Black. Furlan will cover it up. As Kwiatkowski and Fry race in there to protect Frank Furlan.
Both teams have had some opportunities knocking on the door, but nobody's there to answer it.
4:39 remaining in overtime. We're tied at 6 here at Tri-Cities Coliseum. Oh, we've had some excitement tonight.
Kirk, I can't think of one game here in the Coliseum that it hasn't been exciting.
No, maybe the Brandon game that...
That was a little dull, but it still had some excitement too.
It did indeed.
A great family buy. You got to come down and watch the Americans play.
Delcourt on the face-off with McNutt and Rennie. Face-off to the left of Furlan the Magician. Delcourt being chased out now, and Rennie comes in, which may be what John Oliver really wanted to happen. Face-off won by the Americans. Duval around behind the net. Murray Duval has to work to get it out of there. They center it. The Winterhawks center it. Goes out on the left boards to Biafor. Biafor out front. Graham shot in the corner behind the net. Now puck rolls in behind the net, and Delcourt is there. Headman pass intended for McNutt. McNutt losing it. Puck shot back out to the point. Shot once again wide of the net to the right. Jorgensen whipping it in. Another shot, and Furlan will cover it up at the right post.
Portland doing a lot of good forechecking right now, keeping the puck down in the American zone, keeping Frank Furlan very busy down there right around the crease area. 6-6 tie. Boy, has Furlan big magnificent in the last 15 or 20 minutes of play. Face-off will come to the right of Furlan the Magician.
Again, Murray Duval will be our guest in the penalty box. And then we'll have the usual complement of coaches and players in the broadcast booth with Tony as we invite you to listen to our post-game show on AM 1340. Face-off. This is Frank Malone against Holland. Now Malone will be chased out. In goes Delcourt. Delcourt, Malone, and Spenrath. Face-off, shot toward the net. The Americans have it. Kraus plays it out off the boards. For Spenrath, and it's shot right back in. Kraus shooting it ahead into neutral ice, taken there by Mitchell. Mitchell tried to backhand one, has to take it right back. Mitchell across the blue line. Mitchell with it. Comes across the right side, takes a drive, blocked out front by Kraus. Kraus flipping it ahead for Delcourt. Delhi plays it off the boards. Shot back into the Tri-City zone. Portland keeping a lot of pressure on. Now Kraus whipping it ahead into neutral ice. Spenrath behind the back pass for Malone. Knocked down again by Portland. Out to Kraus. Kraus right to Delcourt. Here come the Americans. 3-on-2. Delcourt takes it into the corner. Whips around behind the net as they scrum forward along the left corner. Now the Winterhawks get it as they bring it out. Puck stolen away by the Americans. Shot away from Hamish Black by Kraus. Wheeling around to get it is Shane Cole. And a shot once again into the Tri-Cities end. Back forward is Kraus. Kraus for the Americans. 3 minutes to play in overtime. Shoots a pass ahead to Barnes. It goes to LeBrun instead. Now it's stolen away by Fry. Loose puck in neutral ice. Barnes and Fry taken away from them by Thudium. Shot into the Tri-City end. I thought they had something going there. Furlan leaves it for Kraus. Kraus, oops, has it blocked away. Furlan has to make a quick save. Puck's loose in front of the net. Barnes with it. Now Barnes will stand up, and Kraus has the puck. His pass knocked down. Shot by Bayafour. Wide of the net. Goes to the right boards. Big hit there by Delcourt. A drive, and Furlan will glove it. And the Magic Man comes out to make another big save.
And Shane Cole just leveled Calvin Thudium right in the crease, in the slot area. And that's what you need to do. You need to throw your muscle around down in that area and protect Frank Furlan, your goaltender.
You need to have Calvin Thudium down there here in footsteps, and that's exactly what Shane Cole did on that play. What a hit by Shane Cole on Thudium. Face off to the left of Furlan the Magician. 2:33 in overtime. It'll be Delcourt against Graham. Face-off, won by Portland, a drive, and it's smothered out front. In the slot, Middlestat. His shot blocked out front by Rennie. Puck goes back to neutral ice for Mitchell. Mitchell shooting along the boards, but Rennie comes in to break up the play, kicks it ahead into the Portland zone. Rennie wheeling around behind the net. Rennie to Delcourt. Delcourt getting it out to Scherstenka. Losing it along the boards, McNutt there. Kept in play by Delcourt. And we have a whistle offside.
Called it offside all the way across the rink there.
Face-off just outside the blue line. Outside the Portland blue line for a change.
Yes.
Rennie and Maiden face off. Puck out of control along the boards. Getting to it first will be McNutt. McNutt kicking it into the Portland zone, and then it's flipped back into the Tri-Cities end. It'll be icing when Jakes touches it. Here's your opportunity.
All right.
Minute
now,
55 in overtime.
This is it. A big opportunity coming up right now. The face-off coming all the way back down to the right side of Byron Defoe. And this is where Stu Barnes, Sean LeBrun, Greg Spenrath are all coming out. Now this is a design play. Let's watch and see if it happens.
It'll happen to Byron Defoe's right, your left, as you look on from center ice. Jakes and Scherstenka, the defenseman. Spenrath and Stu Barnes against Graham. On the face-off, it will be, let's see, is somebody going to get chased? Maybe not. The linesman telling everybody to cool it a little bit.
And you see Spenrath heading straight for the net.
Spenrath breaking for the net twice, and now Barnes is going to get chased out of there. Spenrath will be warned, I think. And LeBrun to take the draw. LeBrun draws it back to Scherstenka. Drive! Blocked by Defoe. LeBrun upended, trying to get to it. Back to his feet. Stolen by Black. Puck shot around behind the net. 45 seconds to go. Moore out to neutral ice. Now Schustenka with it for the Americans. Flips it back into the Portland zone. Right in front of the net. Winterhawks get it out to Graham. Minute 33. Here goes Graham. Shot it into the Tri-City end. Ferland comes out to play it. Plays it ahead to Spinrath. But it's stolen there by Bayafor offsides.
Now, I'll tell you what, Bayafor picked that puck up at the blue line, but down inside the blue line was Terry Black all the way at the other end. And there's an offsides. They're going to bring it back outside the American blue line with a face-off.
He picked Spinrath's pocket that time. Minute 26 to go in the hockey game. We are tied at 6 here at Tri-Cities Coliseum. 70 minutes of hockey. Almost. In overtime, there have been no penalties, no score. What a hockey game.
And the Americans are still on that unbeaten streak here at home.
Dennis Holland will face off against the Rune Dogs. Steve Rennie. Holland and Rennie outside the Tri-City blue line. Rennie winning it. Back to Kraus. Kraus shoots it to Jakes. Jakes flips it ahead. Winterhawks steal it at center ice. It goes out to Fleetwood. Fleetwood shoots it into the Tri-City zone. Racing in after it is Black. Puck into the corner, McNutt. McNutt plays it off the glass. Tries to get it to Rennie. Rennie will chase it with Mitchell. Into the Portland zone. Into the left corner. Now Delcourt and Rennie going after it. Puck goes around behind the net. Middlestat. 1 minute to play. McNutt stealing it, a drive. Blocked out front. Goes into the corner. Rennie in after it with Delcourt. Delcourt back to Rennie. Rennie centers for McNutt. A shot. Wide of the net. Smothered out front. Delcourt hammers Hamish Black into the corner. Rennie chasing it after it on Holland. Puck goes into the corner. Portland with it. Rennie tying up his man Mitchell. Rennie and McNutt dig for the puck. Now they dig it loose. Holland tries to get it out. Loose puck in the slot. Rennie trying to dig it out from under Middlestat, and will have a face-off. Middlestat falling on the puck. Rennie making sure that Middlestat knew that there was somebody trying to get it out from under him.
Steve Jakes coming in with his stick and trying to pick it out from underneath him. Little did Steve Jakes know that the puck was on Middlestat's backside. And Steve Jakes puts the stick right by his nose.
6-6 the score. Portland and Tri-Cities tied in overtime. Half a minute to go. Winterhawks and the Americans. Kraus and Jakes the defenseman. LeBrun. Barnes. Spinrath.
Barnesy and LeBrun conferring a little bit, taking notes, and watch what happens here.
Spinrath on the left wing. LeBrun on the right. Face off. LeBrun chases in after it. LeBrun slides it toward the net. Defoe dumps it in behind the net. Centered. Out to Spinrath. A drive. Saved by Defoe. Comes out to Jakes. Jakes slapping it into play. Now Portland whips it the length of the ice. Portland will watch it play off the glass. It'll be icing when Kraus touches it.
And all the way back down.
13 seconds remaining.
Good play by Frank Ferland to let that go all the way down without touching it.
You betcha. 6-6 tie. Face off to the left of Byron Defoe. 13 seconds remaining in the hockey game. Be sure to stay tuned for the penalty box show and then our post-game show.
Even if the Tri-City Americans finish this game with a tie, they will be extremely happy to tie Portland and come away with it with a 1 point instead of no points, especially when they were down as much as 3-0 at one point.
Americans 10-16-1 going into tonight's game. Portland 19-8-1. Barnes on the face-off against Graham. Barnes shoots it behind him, goes right to Bayafor, and he whistles one down the ice to Ferland. The Magic Man leaves it out for Kraus. Kraus whips one off the boards for Spinrath to Barnes. Barnes a drive, and time runs out. And overtime tie. A 6-6 overtime tie. That's our final score here at Tri-Cities Coliseum. The Americans and the Portland Winterhawks skating to a tie. We'll be back with a post-game show in 2 minutes on this KOTY Americans hockey broadcast.
One of them. That must feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels really good to score a goal. They've been few and far between, so.
Now, when you moved from the wing back to playing defense back to the blue line, do you like it back there?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't mind it.
Is it a tough transition?
No, I played it quite a bit last year too, so I kind of know it pretty much.
Okay, the Winterhawks are a tough team. They really make you race up and down the ice, don't they?
Yeah, they really can turn it up quick and move it up the ice really fast. They got a good transition game.
This building seems to make opposing goalies play incredible hockey games, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. The fans are keeping them in. Well, the fans are great. It's just great for...
The fans get everybody pumped up, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, Marie, let's answer some questions here with some of the fans. Questions here? Yeah, over here. You play better in Spokane or here?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just starting to get the hang of things. Actually, I'd been struggling there for a while. I think things are starting to come together now.
It's a little bit different style of play here, isn't it?
Yeah, there is. It's a little different.
And quite a bit different surroundings, bigger ice surface again here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
The ice is a little harder here than it is in Spokane, too, isn't it?
Harder?
Well, not as soft as it is in Spokane.
Yeah. Well, tonight it was pretty soft. You can see there's still wet spots out there, but usually it's really good here.
Okay, other questions for Murray DeVal? Yeah. What do you want to do in the future? You want to play in the NHL, of course.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind playing in the NHL.
This young man is a second-round draft pick last year of the New York Rangers. You went to the Rangers camp, correct?
Yeah, I went there in the spring. The spring, yeah.
Spring camp. Tell us a little bit about that. How's it like to be in the with the NHL team?
Oh, it was great. I was on a line with Guy Lafleur. He was something like, I don't know if anyone knows who he really is.
Guy Lafleur still got it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came back out of retirement, didn't he, after 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, he came back after about 3 or 4 years. I guess he's doing really well, too.
Guy Lafleur's been around for a long time. I imagine he was an idol of yours a long time before you were big enough to play in this league, wasn't he?
Yeah, I got him listed in the program as my idol, so yeah, he's been an idol since I've been growing up. So.
All right, let's see. Yes, right here. Who's the hardest team for you to play, Murray?
Hardest team to play against? I'd have to say these guys. They're quick. They turn the puck around and move it up quick, so it's a little tougher on the transition.
They make you work every minute, don't they?
Oh yeah. I was tired there at the end. Yeah.
I think everybody was. Questions back here, anyone? Yes, ma'am. Is that your billet mom up there?
Yeah.
How do you like your billet family?
It's great. It's greatest. Yeah.
Good, which means you'll get to eat tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Any other questions for Murray DeVal? One right here. Who's your favorite team to play? Who do you like to play the most?
Well, last year it was these guys. I seemed to score a lot against them, but this year I'd have to say probably Spokane, just because I got traded from there and there.
Always nice to go back and let them know that they might have made a mistake, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, one more question for Murray DeVal. Another question here. Raise your hand. Yeah, here. How about you? You get a special treat for scoring a goal? He's checking with his billet mom. What?
I really don't know.
Everybody gets a big laugh out of that. Murray DeVal, ladies and gentlemen, will stay here and sign your autographs and sign hockey pucks and sticks or whatever you have for a while. And Murray, thanks very much for appearing on our Penalty Box show.
Thanks a lot, Kirk.
Okay, and here's some autographs right there. And ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to invite you to stay.
Back at Tri-Cities Coliseum, Tony Ott here along with my first guest in the post-game show, Steve McNutt. And Steve, quite a game out there tonight, huh?
Yeah, it was a fast one.
Yeah, it was.
Back and forth, a lot of passing.
Portland Winterhawks coming in here tonight on a very tough, finishing up that Eastern Road swing, and you guys are very familiar with that. And coming in, and they go home, play one game, and then back on the road. They played up in Loops last night, took it on the chin, and then come into the unfriendly confines of the Tri-City Coliseum, and really pretty much escape out of here with a tie. You guys came on in that third period like gangbusters.
Yeah, we really came on strong. Just wish that we would have come out a little bit harder in the first period. That was our game plan, to come out hard. thought that would catch them off guard. You know, they just got off the long bus ride from Kamloops. And, you know, maybe we catch them, see if they're flat or something.
Right. Now, of course, when they came out and they scored right at 3:44 on that power play, that kind of put the wind right out of the sails, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Really deflated us on the bench. Got down 3-0, and it's just a good thing we got one.
Yeah.
Get her going. Mostly, I think it's just the fans. Just get you in the game. Fans are just great.
As a matter of fact, speaking of that one goal that got you guys on the board, that was to Murray DeVal, and you got the assist on it. Can you explain a little bit about that goal?
Oh, I think it was just a bit of a turnover on their behalf. Got it off his stick and just fed it to Murray. Just a bad play in their end, and we capitalized off of it.
Murray took a great shot and caught Defoe a little bit crossed up there, and got the Tri-City Americans on the board. Now, Portland is leading the division. Would you agree that beating or tying the division-leading team is a benefit for the Americans right now? Probably looking for a little bit of help going into the Christmas break and trying to get some position in for the playoffs coming around January, February.
Oh, yeah. It's always nice to be close or beat the good teams, but you have to do it if you want to climb up in the standings.
Yep.
You can't expect to lose to the teams ahead of you and climb up in the standings. You can't beat the teams below you. Always.
Well, let me ask you something now. Coach John Oliver, saw him before the game tonight. He was very excited, very confident that the team was going to be doing something tonight against Portland. Portland had some key players down. Troy Mick had an injury that left him out. There was a couple other players that were down with injuries and also a case of flu. But what Coach John Oliver was looking at was the fact that you guys came out last night, scored 7 goals, and then come out tonight and score another 6. Now that's a little different, isn't it, from what the previous games have been?
Yeah, we usually have the tight defensive games, and I think finally we're starting to break open. We're moving the puck. We're pinching more. I think that's the key, keeping a guy high, getting the defenseman to move in, keep it in their end, get more movement in there.
Now, Steve, for people that aren't really too up on hockey terms in the area, as you probably well know, try to explain what pinching means.
Well, pinching is our defenseman moving in from the blue line into their end more and try to pinch off the winger from them breaking out, because they usually that's the team's necessary breakout. They just dump it off to the winger and throw it up the boards.
All right. Well, Steve, I'll tell you what, I sure appreciate you joining me up here tonight. We always talk about how you are out there getting involved, being everywhere on the ice. You look like you just hustle, Mr. Hustle on the team. I really appreciate you being up here.
All right,
Steve McNutt, our post-game show, and we'll be back in just 1 minute with Frank Malone right here on this KOTY Tri-City Americans hockey broadcast.
Dave, did you see this flyer in our cable TV bill?
No, honey.
Express Exchange. It's a new cable service that connects right to our personal computer. We get stock quotes, news, educational and shopping information, sports updates.
Sounds expensive.
No, that's the best part. There's no extra monthly charge.
Exchange. How soon can we get it?
Call 1-800-7PC-NEWS for exchange today.
In the beginning, only a select few could get the weather forecast when they needed it. But now anyone can, anytime they want, with the Weather Channel. Up-to-the-minute local forecast, 24 hours a day, every day. And only on cable, so you won't have to miss the boat ever again. The Weather Channel. You need us for everything you do.
Milford, Michigan, man.
Okay. Back once again at Tri-Cities Coliseum. I'm Kirk Williamson, along with the only American, Frank Malone, whose hometown is Milford, Michigan, played in the Ontario Junior League and was back home after declining to take part in a trade and was acquired by the Americans. Frank, good to have you in Tri-Cities and a great hockey game tonight.
Oh, thanks a lot. I'm really happy to be here and happy to be back playing again.
You were off, what, a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I was off 2 weeks. I was kind of in a tough situation. I was traded from a couple teams within like 2-3 weeks, and I wasn't really happy with what they were doing to me. I was playing pretty good where I was in Belleville, and then ended up that a player had been sent back from the American Hockey League and kind of bumped me out, and I was a little disappointed after I'd come in there and played very well for their team, and I had to be pushed out of the way, so I decided I'd go home and think about myself here and think, you know, what's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to do. So.
Well, you have to be feeling pretty good about the way you've been playing since you came here.
Yeah, I'm happy. The team's playing really well since I've been here. I think we've only lost one game. We've had a lot of overtime games, and we're playing really good. I'm happy with my play here. I'm starting to open up a little bit. Hopefully, puck will start going in the net for me a little bit. I'm having kind of a rough time putting it in, but I'm still creating things out there.
Well, you're getting some assists. You've had a point in each of the 4 home games you played in for the Tri-City Americans. Tonight against Portland, everybody must have been awfully tired by the time that game was over.
Yeah, it was quite a game. It was a lot of energy involved out there. Both teams were working hard the whole time, and we were tired. They were a little bit more tired. They had to make that long bus trip, so we were hoping they were going to die down towards the end of the game there and take it to them, but they just kind of held on. I guess maybe that's why they're up towards the top, because they know how to win on the road.
You guys showed a lot of character, though. You came back. They had you down 3-0 early in the first period. Would have been pretty easy to sort of hang it up and skate around and let them win it and call it good, but you guys fought back, showed a lot of character coming back to take the lead 6-5 and wind up with an overtime tie.
Yeah, I think a lot of that credit's basically got to go to the fans. I mean, we got a goal scored on us. It was a tough goal, and we had the momentum going our way, and the fans brought us back into it. That's, I guess, a good thing about playing at home, and especially playing here with all the fans that do come out to the games. They got us going and got the team going, and things started to pick up for us.
Frank Malone of the Tri-City Americans, good game. Good to have you with us. Look forward to talking to you again as the season progresses.
Thanks a lot.
And we'll be back in 1 minute on this KOTY Americans hockey broadcast.
Hey, Dad! Exchange is here.
Exchange?
Remember, honey, the flyer from our cable TV service.
Exchange. It connects to our personal computer.
I hooked it up. It was easy.
Look what we get with no extra charge. News, weather, shopping.
I even got soccer scores.
Let's see how the market did today.
Call 1-800-7PC-NEWS for exchange today.
A real gem. Columbia Cable. Cable television for the Tri-Cities.
This guy can fly.
Space technology of the 21st century. It's here, now, in the Air Force. Aim high. Air Force.
Back once again at the Tri-Cities Coliseum. I'm Kirk Williamson along with John Oliver, and John, I'll tell you, that game must have taken almost as much energy on the bench as it did on the ice.
Yeah, it was one of those games, very emotional and very tense. Early, we spotted Portland a nice lead, and we were able to come back. And in the third period, I thought showed a lot of character, taking the lead, and of course Portland came back, and Furlan had to come up big there at the end and stop them on a couple of very good chances.
Well, the Portland Winterhawks have all but owned the Americans so far this season, with the exception of that first game that was very close. It's nice to kind of even that up.
Yeah, well, we didn't really even it up. We got a point out of it. Certainly that's better than a loss, but Portland for some reason seems to have our number here early in the year. We outplay them tonight again. I think the shots were heavily in our favor, over 50 shots, and I think at 4 or 5 goal posts. Defoe played well. Of course, Portland doesn't get as many shots, but they get quality shots, and you don't have to give Holland too many chances, and he's going to score 2 or 3, and that was the case tonight, and it's been the case every game so far. They're a team that doesn't need a lot of chances to score, and again, tonight, we were fortunate to come back and gain a tie with them, I thought.
Look forward to next weekend, the Medicine Hat Tigers and the Victoria Cougars, last 2 games before the Christmas break.
That's right, and we really wanted to win our last 4 here. We were able to accomplish 3 out of 4 points here in the last 2 nights, but we really feel we have to win those next 2 games. Medicine Hat's out here for a lengthy road trip. By next Friday, they should be starting to get a little bit weary. I think we'll be able to take advantage of that. And the game Saturday against Victoria should be a great game, because Victoria, I feel, is the strength of this division right now. And we've had success against them, though. Last year we had their number. We beat them something like 11 out of 14 times. And this year in the only meeting in Victoria, we beat them 4-2. So we feel confident. For some reason, it's funny with teams. Victoria's got a heck of a hockey team. We seem to play very well against them. Portland as well as a good team, and we seem to really struggle. We have trouble keeping them off the scoreboard, and again tonight that was the case.
Tri-City Americans coach John Oliver. Again, the final score 6-6 in overtime. The Tri-City Americans and the Portland Winterhawks. That wraps it up on this KOTY postgame show.